live. Welcome everybody to the Midweek Mix-Up podcast with, of course, myself, the host, WandrinDutch, and my awesome panel members this week, our essential crew going forwards, with Mick and General C, panel members now. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for making me a panel member.
Welcome.
Of course, our old school panel members, the original two, Boxy and Patcher as well. As you will have known from last week, Vinny's took a little bit of a step back now. He's going to be here, of course, as and when he can, but with work shifts being so sporadic and things like that. And of course, the step back of Erwin, who's also kind of doing much longer shifts, etc. with work. He's also took a step back. So naturally, we needed some awesome crew members to jump back in now and fill that permanent role. And of course, Mick and Jen have been absolutely awesome over the last few months. And of course, it's rightfully those spots belong to those awesome guys here.
Appreciate it, man. Really do. Thank you.
Cheers, buddy. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So yes, official welcome to the Mix-Up panel members.
Yeah. One of us. Part of the ship, part of the crew.
But yes, it's welcome everybody. Welcome to the Midweek Mix-Up podcast. Hello to everybody in chat. Of course, lots of you already sitting here early. Hope you've all had an awesome day. We're going to get into some awesome topics again today. But let's get the introductions out the way of first. Boxenberger, how are you doing today, brother? What you been up to outside of cleaning up apple juice? And how are you?
Yeah. I'm pretty sick of apple juice now. My son just spilled 2 liters of apple juice in the living room right before the podcast started, an hour before the show. So I spent the last hour cleaning everything up because the wife isn't here. So yeah, but besides apple juice, I'm doing pretty good. I just started a new job this week. Yeah. Not complaining about crunch, but I already had my shortest day was 12 hours this week. So
crunch.
No, but enjoying that very much. Very cool new team, a lot of new responsibilities, and enjoying that. So I didn't have as much time as I thought I would for gaming, but in the evening, of course, I need some relaxation, and so I played. I jumped in between a few games actually. I finished up so many indie games over the last months that I had the urge for something more AAA-like, and since we have like 7-8 months without any major releases, I went back and started Cyberpunk again. I bought it on the PC. I wanted to see how it runs on my 3080, but that damn game keeps crashing like every 10 minutes. It's absolutely unplayable on PC for me. I don't know. I thought it was bad on console, but apparently it's bad on PC. So I just started the game on my Xbox again. With the next gen patch now, enjoying it very much again. So been playing that, and yeah, my old addiction is back, and the counter in H4 is going up and up, and yeah, I started to play ranked matches now, and yeah, you really definitely need different strategies for when you play against the ranked players instead of the AI. So yeah, having a blast with that, trying out a lot of different new strategies. H4 is it is so good.
Yeah.
I truly hope it comes to console someday, because a lot more people need to play it. So yeah,
I think with ranked as well, ranked. I was going to say ranked surely will help you. Like easy, I think the PC will be super easy after you've been playing ranked for a bit.
Yeah, for sure. You really need to step up your game a little bit when you play ranked in H4. But the cells are still super populated. It takes never ever longer than 30 seconds to find a match, and the game runs perfect. I haven't had a single issue with the game.
Yeah, same.
Just awesome.
Yeah.
an absolutely incredible game. So yeah, I'm missing one game. I finished one game. But I'm blanking on it right now. It was.
I'm trying to think of all the ones I've seen you post about.
Yeah, usually I post about everything. I probably need to check my Twitter again also. But yeah, what am I? Ayuden Chronicles, right?
Yes.
Finished that. Lovely little game. Fantastic JRPG. Can't wait for the next one coming next year. So.
Yes, yeah, the big
that's what
one.
I've been playing.
The big main one coming next year.
The big main one, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. 100%. Awesome stuff, Boxy. Awesome stuff. Next up, Patcher. Welcome back, brother. I hope you enjoyed your holiday.
Yeah, definitely did, man. Still have like a few days.
Yeah.
Monday we're gonna start working again, unfortunately. But yeah, it's normal. So, but yeah, as you guys probably saw, I posted some things on Twitter. Me and Tamara, we went to the east side of the Netherlands, where you can like actually find some of the history about some things. I posted some pictures, as you guys saw probably. But yeah, we had a good time. The weather was great, still is. It's not raining anymore, so that's good. But yeah,
you actually had Chris Stipe that we play Sea of Thieves with.
Yeah.
He grew up in the Netherlands, and your pictures had him really missing living there.
Oh really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Nice. Yeah, but like I've seen places that I thought, really, is this in the Netherlands? Like the one of the biggest. It's called Hunebed. I don't know how it's pronounced in English, but it's so crazy to see how it just came from like some Sweden, Norway, from that area, and with the ice age and that kind of stuff, it just went to the Netherlands, and it's really awesome to hear the backstory about that. So yeah, we enjoyed it for sure. Yeah, and been back since last Thursday, I guess. Didn't play that much. As you guys probably saw, playing some Fall Guys, of course, some Fortnite. Reinstalled Titanfall 2 again. And just wanted to see how the game is running now. Unfortunately, it's really hard to find a game. That's pretty sad to see, actually, because the game is really nice to play. Multiplayer.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it still is. Like if you actually find a game, then
then it's
you're
really
gonna
fun
love
still.
it. So
Yeah.
It's funny because my daughter still plays the first one occasionally, and she says she can still find games on the first one.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, the first
Then I
one was
need to,
really popular.
There was that big issue recently though with the servers because some hacker kept bringing the servers down and ruining it for people. So
yeah, that's been going on for a while. I know that they had the same problem like 2 years ago or something, when there was a message that someone hacked the thing from Titanfall and stuff. So yeah, been
I
playing
think it was
some
affecting Apex Legends as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, also, yeah. That's where I think that's where it started, at Apex, and then soon after it got into Titanfall 2 as well. So yeah, that's also one of the reasons why I didn't play it anymore. But trying to get back into it, I saw some people on my list playing it, so that brings me thought, yeah, like what, I'm gonna play it again, but unfortunately didn't find any game yet. So, but we're gonna see. See.
That's fair.
And also been playing some FIFA 22. Believe it or not, yeah.
I downloaded that the other day as well. I know.
We're taking him out of the show.
I know we both need a timeout because I've been playing that as well. I'm sorry. It's only because it's in Game Pass.
We managed to get rid of Vin because of FIFA, and now we have to get rid of Pet.
Only because it's in Game Pass and it's the next gen version, so I wanted to see what it was like.
Yeah. Same for me. I just wanted to see how it goes. Like I remember playing the last one was about like 2017 or something, 2018. I don't know, but a lot of things have changed. And it's pretty cool to see. So, And of course, Sea of Thieves last night with you guys.
Yeah.
It was really nice to jump back into it.
It's good to have you.
And yeah, it was. I didn't know that I could like join you guys because I thought it was full. But
Oh no, we
Yeah,
always
I
get
enjoyed
two
it.
ships, and we've usually got 1 or 2 spaces floating about.
We don't always get 2 ships. We try.
Yeah, we try our best. That was
Yeah.
very close to the call last night. It was like
We
2
were about
minutes
10
before we
minutes away
started.
from giving up last night.
So yeah, man. But yeah, I've been playing some different kind of games, and since yesterday started streaming again. So.
Nice. Yes, Fall Guys a little bit today as well, earlier on today. And of course, if you didn't catch that, of course, you can, his links are underneath. You can go and catch up with his Fall Guys stream, and of course, follow him on there as well. Awesome stuff. Awesome. Mick, how are you doing today, brother? What you been up to?
Good man. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Sea of Thieves this afternoon because I was supposed to be at my daughter's graduation for university, but unfortunately it was cancelled. So I had a day off work. And,
Nice.
what else am I going to do? Just sail the seas instead. It's been a hard life. But yeah, it's been good. Been playing that with you guys, obviously on the Tuesdays, Sea Tuesdays.
Yes.
And I've got some good news for you as well, Jen. Apparently, after losing your bet and you've got to play some Peppa Pig. Well, if you're streaming for 2 hours, you might actually 1,000 point it because it's a short game according to. So you might get some good points out of it.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to playing it. But,
Well, at least the points will be a good thing to help, soften the blow.
it's my own fault for agreeing to a bet that I shouldn't have. But I was comfortable with it because it's Hunt Showdown and I was expecting to win, but I ended up getting killed. So, so yeah,
Oh, hey, at least
I'm not a gambling man for just that reason.
my
At
punishment was
least
to
when
play Peppa Pig.
you're gonna stream it, you will get a whole new crowd on your channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like
That's
3,
for
4
sure.
years old, 5 years old.
Yeah.
I'm
then-
announcing
and then-
that I'm quitting streaming.
Nice.
Oh,
That's it.
God.
Apart from that, I haven't really played much else. Just Sea of Thieves at the moment. I'm waiting for the next big thing, really, and it's
Yeah.
gonna be a while. So Sea of Thieves is just having to carry me through. I'm looking forward to the new season though. That starts on the 21st, and then I've got Sea of Thieves Fest, which I'm going to on the
Nice.
23rd. So
Is that a live event where you're going?
yep, yeah, I'm going to get to meet some of the people that I sail with from the Keel Hull crew.
Are you going dressed as a pirate?
There is a competition for cosplay, but no, I'm not.
Oh, come on, Jack Sparrow.
If I could find a Jack Sparrow outfit in my size, maybe, but it's never going to happen.
At least a pirate hat. Come on.
Oh, but
Or
that's
an eye
pretty cool,
patch. Oh, dear me. No, that'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. I've seen a few people posting about that, actually.
It's quite a lot of people. Good few hundred people going. And we've got our fingers crossed that, but it's not far away from Rare's studio. It's like about an hour drive, maybe 40 minutes, something like that. So fingers crossed we might get some surprises, hopefully. But we'll see. It's just a hope. Nothing
guaranteed.
I've not heard anything. It's just
yeah.
just a hope. Yeah.
Awesome
Nice.
stuff. Awesome. Last but not least, of course, General C. Welcome back, brother, from the land of COVID. How you doing, brother? What you been up to?
I'm good. Took a COVID test today and it came back negative, so I am free to leave my prison that was my bedroom for like 12 days. So yeah, it's good to be out of that hellhole and back in the studio. Yeah, played some Sea of Thieves with you yesterday. Actually installed Skyrim again and restarted it again.
Oh, no. You're not
Don't know
going
how
down
long
that
that'll
route.
last.
Never go wrong with that.
I don't know how long it'll last because I do it all the time. I start it and I play it for like a couple of hours and then I never go back to it. But I enjoy it. I enjoy those couple of hours.
Keep going, me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been playing a bit of Skyrim. Started that Monday. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. I haven't had a chance to play Hunt Showdown this week, but that's going to change tomorrow because I'm 100% streaming tomorrow without a doubt. I've got my energy back now and I just can't wait to stream, man. I've missed it so much.
Yeah. Like I say, it's one of them things when you're ill specifically, as much as you want to just be doing something and keeping yourself busy, you just A, haven't got the energy, and B, you just like you go to do something and you're just like, no,
Yeah,
it's not happening today.
Probably shouldn't have said that I was going to stream on Monday, but yeah, I just felt like trash that day. I felt so tired.
Yeah.
COVID just takes it out of you.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. But it's good to have you back. I'm glad you're feeling better.
Good to be back on camera as well. And I
Yeah.
actually got colour back. I looked like a ghost last week.
The shrouded ghost, or?
Just, I looked like I was about to die. Although I didn't feel that bad, but
Yeah.
I think day 5 and 6 was just the worst. Those were the days where, like day 5 especially, was the day I couldn't breathe properly.
Yeah.
Day 6, same a little bit, but not as bad as day 5. Day 5 was awful. Just trying to do anything that day was awful. Like I couldn't sit up properly. I couldn't lay down properly. Sleeping was out the window. But yeah, it's good to be back to full strength.
Nice.
It gave me
Nice.
a lung infection when I had it and almost gave me pneumonia. So
Lovely.
Bloody hell.
yeah, that was not a fun time.
I was at the hospital for 2 weeks or 10 days. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm glad you're all okay. And shout out to Stuffed Sean as well in the chat, who is also now COVID-free. So,
Hey.
hey, well done. Nice one. Yes, for me,
I think Sean had it around about the same time as I did, right?
You did,
Both
yeah,
sort of-
same time.
About a day out, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been playing a little bit more Blade Runner, the remastered edition, of course. I've been playing a little bit of FIFA 22. Obviously, like I say, download that on Gamepass. My friend bought it when it released, but only the last gen version because he didn't want to pay for the next gen update. That's fair. There wasn't much of a difference anyway. So I just downloaded the next gen version on Game Pass to see what that was all about. It's all right. It's FIFA. It's I can't say much more about that. It's the only football game out there because I'm not going to download esports football or whatever it's called from Konami. Other than that, a little bit of Fall Guys, of course, Save Tuesday, Sea of Thieves. And I, after seeing the kind of gameplay-ish reveal from Monkey Island, I started playing Monkey Island again as well. Curse of Monkey Island on PC
Good choice.
the other day. So I was playing through that, and everything come back to me. I knew how to solve all of the original puzzles straight away and things like that. I was like, God, I just remember things like immediately. How's everything stuck in my brain from like years ago? Like I literally haven't played this game in about a decade. And I just remember all the answers to everything I need to do. I'm like, okay, so Murray's head's outside. To do that, I need to go over here and grab this off the wall. I need to fire the cannon and sink the ships and then get the hook and then knock his head off there. And I was like, Jesus wept. Why do I remember this? How do I remember this? But yeah, it's awesome. Quick thing on on Monkey Island. Return to Monkey Island. We'll dive into that. It's a very small snippet for me and Mick. The art style of the new one. It's of course, and me and Jen discussed this on the weekend because of course last week we had the massive thing with a lot of developers getting a lot of abuse, whether that be Sony Santa Monica, whether it be the indie devs behind Hypercharged, or whether it be the guys behind Return to Monkey Island, Rod Gilbert and all of his guys were taking hellish abuse for either the art style or the release dates, etc. And don't do it. If you don't like the art style, you don't like the art style. There's no need to get abusive about it. It's a case of taste. It's a route they wanted to go down. We can all have different opinions. Myself and Mick don't like the art style. We'll still play the game. It's not going to stop us. Just don't be abusive about it. But on that note, Mick, what do you think about the style of the game?
I'm gonna see how it goes. I mean, I remember when Curse of the Monkey Island came out, and that was a big change from 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And thinking, why? Well, I know that things are, I mean, obviously at the time, games were getting more advanced, as they always are.
Yeah.
So I could see why, but I just felt like it never needed to change from the original art style. And I wasn't keen. But now it's one of my favorite games of the Monkey Island series. So I'll probably start the same way, and then in 10 years' time, if it's as good as if the writing and the humor is the same as the others,
Yeah.
I'll probably end up just loving it just as much. As long as it's nothing like Escape from Monkey Island.
Yes. Yes. The 3D abomination. Let's never go down that route again.
That game made original Lara Croft look like a smooth, pixelated perfection game.
Yeah.
I mean, it was good. Jeez.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that was that. I was a bit shocked at first, but not quite, because obviously we saw the trailer, so I knew it was not going to be quite like Curse of the Monkey Islands. I wish it had been.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm sure, like I said, the best thing about Monkey Island's games is the writing and the humor. Is because a lot of it, even I try to think how old I was, but obviously I played Monkey Islands 1 and 2 on the Amiga 500.
Yeah.
When they came out, and I remember going back. I probably still played it several times, but still didn't get some of the jokes. And it wasn't until I got much older in life that I went back, like the monkey wrench.
Yeah.
Is a term that until the internet came along, I didn't really know what that was. It's an American term, monkey wrench. So in England, when you're using a monkey to open that valve on the waterfall, it's just like, why?
Yeah.
Why is that a thing? And then as soon as I did it later on, I was like, oh, it's a monkey wrench. Obviously, but you don't those jokes, even though they're not adult jokes or anything, but they're clever jokes that sometimes you just don't get until later on, until you get older and you learn things. So I think the humor is going to carry it through, as long as it's written by the same people, which it is. It's Gilbert's back, which is great. I think it'll be great. I'm like you, just a bit like that on the art style. But
it's not so much for me. It's not the art style of the world, because the world looks fine. It's the fact that they went with giant heads for characters. I was like,
they're like bobbleheads, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm like, why did you go with the bobblehead thing? Like that. The rest of the world looks fine. The music sounds absolutely awesome as usual. Yeah. The colors are vibrant. It was just I didn't quite catch that. And another side note as well, it's timed exclusive to Nintendo Switch and PC, which is weird.
Which is fine, because I'll play it on the PC.
I'll play it on both.
I've got a Switch, but I never use the damn thing. So.
I was thinking, do you know the Joy-Cons on the Switch for point and click?
Yeah.
I thought that might actually be worth trying.
Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think if I'd rather have it on either the Xbox or the PC, because I know the Xbox does mouse and keyboard. Even that Cyberpunk then, Blade Runner that you gave me.
Yeah. I
was playing it and thought, this is not quite right. I wonder if it works with mouse and keyboard. Push the button on my Switch box that the mouse and keyboard is plugged into between the Xbox and the PC, and the mouse pointer came up on the screen, and I was like, "Oh yes!" So now you can just go around and click on things like you should be able to on a point and click adventure game.
Yeah.
So I'm playing it on the PC. I'm playing it on the Xbox, but with a mouse and keyboard.
Nice.
Works great. So,
how are you finding that as well? Actually,
I didn't play it originally.
Oh,
I'd seen it. I know of it. But I'd never played it. So I've got pretty far on it, to be honest. Considering I don't know anything about it, it's completely new to me.
Yeah.
I've done. I'm trying to think where I got up to. I was playing it the other day. Certainly done like all got onto the computer, took the photo, zoomed in on the person, got the CCTV tapes.
Yeah.
Found the image, then cross-checked it with the computer at the thingy and that. So I'm getting my way through it. I've certainly passed the first sort of few stages of it. So yeah, it's really good.
Awesome. Yeah, it was one of my, like I say, and you can see it's still old, but they've done as best they can to keep the original product, but just enhance it so it's a little, it's crisper, a little bit crisper. But it's the original product. The music's been remastered, so it's updated. It's nice. But yeah, it's awesome stuff. But we will get into today's topics. So for today, we're going to be discussing Skull and Bones. We're going to be discussing the Halo Infinite co-op update and leaked Forge details as well. We're going to be discussing the God of War release date and the delay to Forspoken. But we will get into, first and foremost, Skull and Bones, of course, which has its full gameplay reveal tomorrow. Of course, this has been delayed for a significant amount of time. It's been started from scratch. It's been shelved for a long time. Yeah.
Didn't it get restarted twice?
Twice, yeah.
I don't even remember when they officially announced it the first time.
Oh, it's a while ago. It's a while
It was
ago.
announced at the same
I
time.
actually played it.
Oh.
Just after Sea of Thieves.
So you played it then, Boxy.
Yeah,
What did you
around
think
that
of it?
time.
Yeah, 2018 when it was first
I want to
announced.
say 2018. It could also. It might have also been 2019. I'm not really sure, but there was a playable demo at Gamescom.
Yeah.
Of that game.
I think it was announced. Both Sea of Thieves and Skull and Bones were announced at 2018. But
Yeah.
Skull and Bones looked like it was going to come out first because it had a demo at Gamescom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But what was it like? Skull and Bones? Was it like not a spin-off of Assassin's Creed? Or I heard
Yeah,
something
Black
about
Flag.
yeah, they took a lot of the mechanics from Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and later, of course, from Odyssey and Origins, where you had the sea mechanics and the ship mechanics, and they basically combined that. And I think the intention of this long delay of the game was like to really differentiate the game from not just the Assassin's Creed game, but also from games like Sea of Thieves. So I'm actually looking forward to it.
Didn't work, though, did it? People
Pardon
are
me?
still so it didn't work. People are still associating it as a Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, of course, because there's only one pirate game out there right now.
Yeah.
Of course, you every
It's
game
5 years and it's still getting the same response.
Yeah. But I'm actually looking forward to it. Sea of Thieves wasn't for me, so I hope that this is more of like a single player experience. I hope that we can play it solo, and I'm looking forward to see what they did with the game.
I'm interested to see what you think of it specifically because you played the demo at 2018.
Yeah.
At the Gamescom. So I'm interested to see what changed, how much it's changed from when you played it to what it is now, or when it comes out. So that'll be really interesting.
My guess is that probably it has like the same kind of gameplay as Assassin's Creed Black Flag had. It might look like that, more like a strategic kind of way.
Yeah.
I'm not sure because I didn't see tomorrow. I think tomorrow they're gonna release some gameplay, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna see that, but my guess is that it's kind of like Black Flag. I played Black Flag a lot back in the days, and I really like how the gameplay was when you were on a ship. So yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Wasn't there leaked footage of Skull and Bones recently?
Yeah.
And it didn't look
Yes.
great, right?
I don't think we know when that was leaked, when it was taken though. So I'm not sure whether that, because you got to remember this game we think has been rebooted at least once, maybe twice. When did this footage come from?
Yeah.
So
Good point, yeah.
Yeah, they have like 2 or maybe even 3 iterations of their engine from the original reveal. Like I just googled it. It was 2017. So so they had like at least 2. It could have been 3 iterations of their engine. I I wouldn't. I before we judge graphics, let's wait for the reveal tomorrow
Yeah.
because usually
Yeah.
the Ubisoft games look pretty good. They have very good engines. I mean, I'm excited actually. I think people give way too much shit on Ubisoft because Ubisoft has released a couple of fantastic games over the last years, and of course. And a lot of these games always have the stigma of the Ubisoft formula, but honestly, I think like when you look at the open world games released over the last, let's say, 4 years, Ubisoft is the only one that actually deviated from that Ubisoft formula in open world games. Well, outside of Elden Ring, of course, but
Yeah.
like with Immortals Phoenix Rising, they did a fantastic job. With that, way better than Breath of the Wild, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If I look at Watch Dogs 3, which was the super fantastic game, with permadeath and the way how they put the world, aka London, in the center of the game as the star of the game. I love that.
Yeah.
And even if I look at a game like Far Cry 6, it was an incredible sandbox. Like that's what Halo should have been, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It let you were able to do the craziest things in that world. Super non-linear. Like really, I absolutely enjoyed that game. So I don't see why people give them so much flack. And if you look at the roadmap that they have coming, well, we get the remake of Splinter Cell, we get Beyond Good and Evil 2, Skull and Bones is coming, an Avatar game is coming, which is a first-person game. So that's all games I'm really looking forward to, and I also want to see what the next iteration of Assassin's Creed is, of course. And
that's getting an unveiling soon as well, isn't it? The next Assassin's Creed?
in September.
In September.
They will have a showcase in September. They announced that as well this week. Ubisoft Forward is coming in September. So yeah, honestly, I think Ubisoft has fantastic games in the pipeline, and I can't wait to see them.
For me, Boxy, I think it's just personally for me, I have to be in the mood to start a Ubisoft game because they are big. Like there's no small Ubisoft game, so you've got to be like, am I starting Far Cry or am I not? Because this is, I know it's at least 30, 40 hours at least.
Yeah.
That's the only thing with Ubisoft games is they're all big. Like Assassin's Creed, I didn't finish everything, and I just finished the main campaign within 77 hours. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And I haven't started the two DLCs yet.
I got about 30 hours into Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I felt burnt out. I was like, I don't feel like this is going anywhere, so I'm just gonna tap out here.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll go back to it at some point.
I'm sure my count was about 120 hours, and I only finished the campaign. I didn't even finish all the, all the other stuff.
There's so much left to do in that game, yeah.
Yeah, I did quite a bit of some of the side stuff, but I didn't finish all of it by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I didn't finish all the side stuff as well, but I played all the DLC.
And I think I'm so close on like max upgrades for the village as well. So close.
I've played a lot of Assassin's Creed games, but never like actually finished one of them.
I did Odyssey and Origins 100,000%, but 1,000 pointed both of them and all the DLC as well. So it's just that Valhalla is just too big.
You know what it is with an Assassin's Creed game? At the start, you're gonna focus on the main story.
Yeah.
But I get lost really quickly on the side quests.
Yeah.
And then you get like totally lost in where did I left in the main story, So it's really hard for me to like actually complete one of those games because I have Odyssey, I have Origins, Black Flag, Assassin's Creed 1, 2.
Yeah.
So it's never completed one of them, but I really enjoy those games. And like Boxy said, Ubisoft has really good games.
Yeah.
If you
Well,
So-
none of them are. Yeah, I would say none of them are bad. And everyone, the great thing is about the last three, Odyssey, Origins, and Valhalla, is everyone has a favorite out of all three of those. Of course, my favorite out of those three is Valhalla. Other people's favorite is Odyssey, and then other people love Origins. And of
Odyssey,
course,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Origins is my
Okay.
favorite.
It's right, and they're all good in their different ways. And the good thing they've done about all three of them is they've put really great attention to detail into the areas they've done. So, of course, Valhalla was
Yeah.
really great attention to detail on Old England with Jorvik and things like that. Obviously, York and having the different kind of English settlements.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was nice to see in that. Then, of course, in Egypt, you had all of the awesome Egyptian kind of settlements and areas and pyramids and the Egyptian gods and mythological beings from that era. In Odyssey, you had the Spartans, and you could there was a different mechanic where you could have kind of these wars to take over locations, and you had to kind of decide whether or not you wanted to take it back or just leave it. So each one of them are all different, and everyone's got their favorite out of all three of those, and it's just a different way of doing things. But they are ultra big, so I can understand why people kind of get a little bit more restless with them.
I just think I preferred Assassin's Creed when it was more,
A little bit smaller.
when it was more like Brotherhood and.
Yeah.
I
like
think
the
there's a good
original-
market. There's a good market for these. With some, a lot of people do like Valhalla, these big sort of games, and I have to say I do. But over the recent years, I've definitely got sort of less and less interested getting that far in. But I think Ubisoft are missing a trick, not doing a AA version of Assassin's Creed and making it just like those old Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
It's a smaller world. There's only 300-400 collectibles at max,
Yeah.
and you've got a main storyline and a couple of side ones, and it's done. And you could charge 25-30 quid in the store and just have a lower grade AA Assassin's Creed game that's like the old ones.
Yeah.
And because there's still a lot of people that like you say, like the old. One of the best ones I've played recently was Rogue. I remember when that came out, I'd already moved to an Xbox One, and that came out on 360. I went back to play it, and if you like Black Flag, you'll love Rogue. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's essentially the same thing.
I much prefer
yeah.
the way Assassin's Creed used to be, rather than
That's
like
because
it is
it
now.
was more based on being an assassin and being stealthy. Of course, with Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla, you were a Spartan, you were like an Egyptian warrior, or you were
Nowadays
a Viking, and none of those are
It
assassins
doesn't
by
feel
trade.
like Assassin's Creed to me nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
And the
feels
other-
like a big open world adventure game set somewhere in history.
The other thing is, we were talking about Skull and Bones and the way that they've taken the ship combat from the Assassin's Creed games. And I know when we were in our group chat for the midweek mix-up, Harry from Gamers Watch was saying if it's just like that, but just the ship combat, he's all in.
Yeah.
And I'm the other way. It's like I liked the ship combat, but I could only do it for a short period, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to get out and
I
explore.
need to go back and do some stealthing, and do
If you're
something.
doing
out.
a pirate game, you need a little bit more than just ship combat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine there's
There's so much more to pirates than being on a ship. Yeah, it's like
And then it worries me. The only worry I've got about that game is that it is just going to be the ship combat stuff all the time, and it'll be like, I'll probably put 20 hours in it, and I'll be like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I need something else for me.
yeah, I'm there with you, Mick. I think I need a lot more than just ship combat. I need to be able to go to islands and look for treasure and hidden stuff, and I don't know.
This is
engage
what we were
with
saying
other-
beforehand as
other
well, wasn't
pirates
it?
on land.
Yeah.
Mr. Joanna Dark says Assassin's Creed Rogue is very underrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's right. It is. If you liked Black Flag and you haven't played Rogue on either 360 or the remastered version on Xbox One, get it played. It's great.
And I think we mentioned this beforehand as well with before we started actually regarding the what it kind of needs, or I think what we want, and technically for a pirate game, it's being a pirate specifically isn't about just the ship combat. Like the whole pirate thing is the fact that pirates used to go and find buried treasure and and look for like these ancient things that they've heard of, and where's X, Y, and where's this sunken treasure, and
Yeah. Go and
that's
steal shit from
the mystery
from
of being a
islands and all that
pirate.
as
Yeah,
well.
it's the pirate way. And I think if it's just ship combat, and then you can just go on to land to upgrade your ship or whatever it is, but there's no exploration to find buried treasure, then I don't know how long its longevity is going to be. That's my worry about it, is how long is that game going to actually keep people in just ship combat?
I think that's a good answer on the thing that Joanna Dark said in the chat, because he said Skull and Bones is a Sea of Thieves killer. I don't think so for now, because if you see how the gameplay is on Sea of Thieves, everybody knows this. And like you now said, Dutch, like, is it only like being on a ship and just have combat, or can you like actually go to an island, search for stuff, search treasure, or get like hidden stuff?
Yeah.
I don't think for now that the content that Sea of Thieves have, it's not gonna. Skull and Bones is not gonna compete.
Honestly,
to
I
Sea of
think
Thieves.
like Skull and Bones is probably trying to do something different than Sea of Thieves. I don't think it is going to be a.
Well,
Sea
for
of Thieves
starters, of
killer.
course, the art styles are vastly different, which is a good thing.
Yeah, it's not just
Skull and
that. I
Bones is
don't
more
think we
realistic
will-
as well.
Yeah, I think like Skull and Bones will be more like an economy simulator. I don't think you will be able to leave the ship. I think like it will, if you look at Black Flag and what the ship mechanics and the entire thing was, it was basically a micro economy where you had to protect certain routes of ships, or rob other ships and stuff like that. I think it will be more like this. You won't be able to leave the ship. You definitely will be able to customize it, but not just cosmetically. I think
there's already cosmetics on the Twitch drops if you watch the stream.
Oh,
see, there you go. But I think like the core gameplay mechanic, at least that's what it's in my head, is like you have like an economy behind in this pirate world, and the target is to upgrade your ship and your fleet. I think you won't only have one ship, like you will have an entire fleet. The entire cover image shows that it's not just one pirate ship and you go to an island and do weird stuff like in Sea of Thieves. I think it is completely different. So I don't think it will be a comparable. You will be able to compare those two. Now, as for the longevity of the game, that's an interesting one. Ubisoft has been, again, I have to give them a compliment. They have been fantastic in supporting their games after launch.
I just seen stuff Sean's comment.
I saw that as well.
Is there some Amber Heard DLC on Skull and
as long as you can fire it out of a cannon, that's about the only DLC I want to see.
Oh man, I mean, what you were saying there, Boxy, is great, but if I can't get off the ship and do something else, I'm not going to put much time.
I mean,
into
they
that.
don't have to go to that level of degree where you go off the ship like in Sea of Thieves. They could scale back on that, and that would make me happy. But to be stuck on a ship all the time and it be a pirate game, there's so much more to being a pirate than being stuck on a ship.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff that doesn't really appeal to me. I like to jump off the ship and explore islands and all that.
So on the Assassin's Creed games, there is usually two worlds that are like cities and maybe like I'm trying to think of, if you ever played Liberty, there was one that's like a Mexico or Mayan sort of city thing. And then there was like Washington or wherever it was the other one. And they've usually got two cities that you just dock into, and that's it. You get off the ship. Your ship's there, but you don't sail around it. You just dock in, and that's the end of it. But then there's usually a bit in the middle where there's like rivers running through and channels and all the rest of it, where you do pull up to a port, stop, get off, and do something. So that middle map that they have would be an interesting formula for me, because it is just more moving around in your ship, but with the ability to get off and go in and do stuff on that outpost or fort or encampment, and then get back on the ship and move to the next place.
I suppose for me, I was going to say,
that, it's
yeah,
not gonna last,
for me, I don't think I'd mind so much if it was just ship combat when it's multiplayer, because I think if you have like loads of friends and everyone's got a ship and you're against other people with loads of ships and you have this mad ship warfare
I get
online, that'd be fun.
And I think that could be a great like competitive system for the game.
Yeah.
And it could have a huge esports, but
but then single player side,
you
need a bit more for it if it's like on the single player front. Because I know one thing we do know about Skull and Bones, of course, is that your friends on your ship and your crew, like on Sea of Thieves, like you are the captain, the crew is the AI, like they're doing the job. You can't get on everybody's ships, etc. So we know that already. So it means if people were playing multiplayer on Skull and Bones, then it would be separate ships anyway. And everyone's got a separate ship, and they've all got their own AI crews. It's a case of what else is there. Like, I just want to know what, and of course we'll find out more tomorrow. And I'm kind of
I can think of one thing that they could do better than Sea of Thieves, and that would be like a big alliance with maybe 20 ships, all going out to fight against a big AI fleet.
Yeah, like a big Spanish Armada.
Yeah. Something like that, where you've all got your own ship and you're just going in, even if it's just like 8 people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're going up against 20 odd big, man of wars or something. And if you don't all work together to take them down, you're just going to get destroyed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's really the only thing I think that they can do better than Sea of Thieves do, because there isn't, until we get custom servers in Sea of Thieves,
I mean,
there isn't really anything like
if
that. I mean,
thought about it with Skull and Bones, they could go the route of adding raids into the game. Like you start off on your ship and you head into an island and you got obstacles in the way, like different armadas in the way or something like that, and then
giant fort,
get to that island and continue that sort of that raid. But I don't know. I think that's what it would need from me to be interested in trying it.
Yeah.
I think I need a lot more than just ship combat, because that's all the things about Assassin's Creed Black Flag that bored me. I didn't like it.
Yeah,
we'll find out. We'll find out tomorrow. What time is it tomorrow? Is it 6:45 or something? UK
yeah,
time?
I think so.
7 UK time, 8 p.m. Europe time. I'm actually thinking about starting the World of Gaming half an hour later,
just to catch that, see what it's all about.
Yeah.
I would, because you're going to want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, definitely. I just need to make sure my guest has also time to delay.
I mean, alternatively, you could do it whilst you're doing the World of Gaming, and then continue the topics.
That's a good idea, like a mini reaction sort of thing, and then go into the full podcast.
Do we know how long it's on for?
No idea.
Can't imagine it'd be long. Maybe it's 15, 20 minutes or something. I can't imagine it'd be a long, because it's only Skull of Bones, so I can't imagine they'd dig into it too long.
I'm not going to mix in some Just Dance with it as well.
Max half hour.
Or maybe Skull and Bones will get some Just Dance DLC. Or
Pirates
giving it.
I'm going to bring back the Connect just for this, just for the hunting.
Well, they have their entire Ubisoft Forward in September, and they literally said this is just Skull and Bones, and the rest will be shown in September. So
yeah.
So is Skull and Bones supposed to be coming out this year then?
No, I think it's
a good question.
I think it was set for 2023, wasn't it?
It was set for 20.
I don't know. With them doing their own
for anything.
2019.
Their own separate
it was set for
showcase
2018,
it makes
and
me feel like the game's coming sooner rather than later.
Yeah,
we'll see.
We shall indeed.
What's the next topic?
Yeah. The next one actually is the long-awaited update upcoming for co-op in Halo Infinite. And of course, we had a little bit of details about that in the kind of the blog posts, the monthly, or at least were meant to be monthly blog posts, but they've kind of whittled down a little bit now. But eventually got some info about that. Of course, that is going into test flighting soon, so you can sign up to test flight the co-op. Of course, both local and online co-op.
That's middle of the month, right? I think.
Yeah.
I'm correct.
11th.
16th.
Yes. 11th.
That's when it goes into the insiders.
Yeah.
So I don't know how long it's going to be before it reaches main game, but I would imagine it'd be at least a month.
A month or so, yeah. Yeah. So
At
you can
least
sign
a
up,
month.
of course, to
Fingers
be on the
crossed,
test
unless
flight.
there's Problems.
Yeah. Test flight for the co-op. You can sign up for that already if you're already a Halo insider. You can
I
you can
believe
go and sign
you
up
can
for it.
also sign up through the Xbox
Yeah.
app, the Insider Xbox app, as well as the Halo Insider flight test.
Yeah. Of course, bear in mind that if you're going to be doing the test flight, you will encounter bugs, you will encounter issues, you'll probably encounter crashes. There's going to be a lot of problems with it initially when they're trying it out.
Yeah.
And report your bugs
I
as
was
well.
about to say,
They're
if you are going to do it, because I've done a lot of beta testing and stuff throughout the years, from the 360 onwards, I've been an insider since the launch of the Xbox One and was in the 361 before that. But yeah, if you are going to do it, yes, you will find bugs. But for God's sake, don't go online and bitch about it. Get onto the devs and send them feedback. This
Yeah.
is what they're looking for.
Yeah.
They're trying to find where these problems are
Yeah.
so that they can fix them.
Yeah. What I will say for that as well is we had a little bit more info on some of the statistics for that. So, of course, the co-op, as it stands right now, or at least what we've seen of the co-op, is all of the co-op characters, i.e. you, the person that's hosting, etc. You're all Master Chief, which is one of the slight downsides to it. It's not your own Spartan, so you can't have your own Spartan in there as the side person and the main character, or at least the host is Master Chief. I think is a missed opportunity, personally. I think you should just
I
be able to
agree.
use your own Spartan there. I don't see why that would be an issue, personally, to just drag your Spartan armor into the single-player game and just use it that way. Second,
Was it Halo 3 that did that?
yeah,
Halo 3
3,
had
you
different
just bring-
characters. You had the Arbiter and a couple of
Was
other
the second
generic
player.
elites.
Yeah.
And then the third and fourth players, were they not just like the multiplayer?
I think so,
Whatever
yeah.
skin
No,
you
they
had
were
attached
just
them?
like generic elites. You played as
Right.
two other generic elites alongside the
Right,
Arbiter
right.
and Master
Right.
Chief.
And the second bit of info we had, of course, well, should I say key info, is the tethering. Of course, we knew this was the issue originally when they were trying to get co-op to work properly for this game, with it being open world, or at least their first proper envisioned open world Halo since its inception. Was the tethering, how they were going to manage that with regard save points and things, or located save areas or respawn points. And the tethering is set to just over 300 meters, which is around about, well, it's 1,000 feet. So we will have a discussion on both of these things. First, Boxy, what do you think, first of all, of A, eventually getting co-op at some point within the next 2 months, 3 months maybe, and B, well, actually, there's a few things. Of course, the time frame. Forced to be Master Chief as everybody. And of course, the last thing, the tethering being so limited to about 300 meters, which sounds far, but when you're in a big open area with multiple points to do things, it sounds a little bit restrictive. What do you think?
It does. I agree. Yeah, listen, man, I don't have much confidence in the 343 anymore.
Yeah.
So
Me neither.
I really want it to be good. I want the co-op to be good, and I want it rather sooner than later, of course. But yeah, I'm not so sure anymore. There must be something fundamentally wrong with the co-op. Otherwise, they wouldn't have delayed the co-op for almost an entire year. So yeah, I don't know what's so difficult in adding co-op to that game. I
Yeah.
really don't. I don't see it. I don't think Halo has a super complex open world. It doesn't even have a proper sandbox. Like when you compare it to other games, what you can do in them
Yeah.
versus what you can do in Halo, there's really no diversity in the environment. It's not a big open world compared to modern day standards. I don't know what's taking them so long. So there must be something. There must be a reason for that, and I'm not sure what it is. Why it takes them so long to implement that fundamental Halo gameplay or game mechanic
Yeah.
co-op. So yeah, I don't have trust in them anymore. I would really, really lower my expectations. I have good memories in playing through the campaign. I had a blast for the 15, 20 hours it took me to finish the campaign. And I kind of want to leave it at that. I don't want to ruin my Halo Infinite, my very good Halo Infinite single player impression that
Yeah.
I had. So I just want to wait and see how it will turn out. Will I do a co-op playthrough? Of course I will when it's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a little scared here. Do we know that it's coming in the next 2 or 3 months?
Yeah,
Or is
it's
just an assumption?
it's going into insider testing this month. So insiders play it this
I know,
month.
but that doesn't mean that it comes out in 2 or 3
Yeah.
months. So
Usually,
think it
stuff on the
was-
insider build
yeah.
tends to come out around the 2-month period afterwards, roughly.
Yeah.
Unless there's something fundamentally wrong with it. But
Yeah.
it's been pretty reliable. So we'll see. I think if
Yeah,
we've
we'll
got to this
see.
point, fingers crossed, everything's going to be well, and then
Yeah.
we should see it within a month or two.
I think like they definitely have a chance to kind of revitalize Halo Infinite if they bring it out at the right time, and the right time would be like this or next week.
Yeah.
Honestly, because like if you go into the end of September, October, and even November, no one's gonna care if Halo gets co-op.
Yeah, I've got
I'm
to agree with
sorry.
that.
There are of course there are the diehard fans on Twitter, like a couple of thousand people,
Yeah.
but that's really about it. Like everyone will be playing Hogwarts, God of War, I don't know,
Yeah.
Gotham Knights, all these games that come out in October and early November. No one will care. Too little, too late.
Yeah.
Yep, I fully agree with you there.
And I think
Yeah.
that's generally the problem right now that they have. Like, even if they get eventually content ready to drop, like in 23, who cares? It's an old game running on an old engine when you get all these current gen only games, like a Diablo, like a Starfield, like a Redfall, like a Forza, all these games, it will be really, really hard to revitalize Halo Infinite. Now is a dry streak. It's literally people are running out of stuff to play, and it would be a good time to do it, but it's obviously not gonna happen. And so I think they will, even alone from that standpoint, alone, they will have it really, really hard to bring the excitement for Halo back.
Yeah.
I think, of course, like I said, a couple of diehard fans, like the ones running the Xbox podcasts, of course, they will talk about it, and,
Yeah.
and that's about it. So yeah. What was the last point you asked me?
It was everyone
Tethering.
playing as Chief, and the tethering being limited to 300 meters.
Halo, they must have known that they have co-op in that game from the very, very, very beginning when they started this. So
Yep.
when you design the campaign, is it really necessary to design the campaign in a way where you like only have the chief, and now you have like 2 chiefs in there?
Yeah.
I mean, no
And then
other
3
Halo game
chiefs
did
and 4
that.
chiefs.
And then 3 chiefs and 4 chiefs. Like, okay, but I can't get around that. It just surprises me by what base ideas 343 doesn't get. But okay, the othering thing is the weird part to me. Honestly, I think like I started my little rant. I don't think Halo has a complex world. I don't see why you need to restrict yourself towards that. I just don't see it, but I'm not a developer. I just think other games did it, and why shouldn't Halo be able to do it? But yeah, who am I to judge some fundamental gameplay mechanics that they put in there if they think it's the best thing for the game?
Yeah.
Let's hope they are right. Yeah. So you can tell my excitement isn't through the roof. It really isn't.
Yeah.
I don't expect anything from 343 anymore. And once all these AAA games come out this fall, I am probably one of those who really don't care anymore. They had their chance. They missed the first year. They missed the point, and then we just have the other stuff to play. So yeah.
No.
That's fair. That's fair. Patchy, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, I'm gonna agree with Boxenberger. The interest in Halo is like it went down from like the start when we started to play like the multiplayer, the big team battles and stuff.
Yeah.
It was pretty exciting, like everybody was waiting on that game. But I haven't played Halo for like quite a while, to be honest.
Same.
And the co-op thing, I think it's too late. Like they should like put the co-op earlier in the game. Then first now do a test, and then probably 2 or 3 months later it's coming out. So yeah, I agree with Boxenberger, like he said. The interest is gone. They've been too late adding the co-op mode. I don't know if the co-op mode is coming out. If I'm gonna play the story mode again, I haven't completed yet by myself. But to jump back in again in the game, nah, I don't think so. I'm going to do that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Mick, what about yourself? What's the likelihood of you playing through it co-op now?
I am 100% going to play this co-op.
Yep.
I am excited to play this. I will be doing the insiders stuff to leave feedback, obviously. I know that Chris will also be looking for it. He hasn't even finished the campaign because he just has lost interest
in
the game because he's not playing in co-op. And I went through it and completed it.
Is it just me or is Mick?
He was clipping a second ago.
Yeah, he is.
Let me know if it does it again. But yeah, it's it basically it's boring because he can't play it, in co-op. So he's looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it because like we've played every one of them together, and this is the first one we haven't. So yeah, I've just gone on the game now actually just to see how far in game 300 meters is, because you can put a checkpoint down and move away from it. It tells you how far it is away from that checkpoint in meters. It's a fairly big, distance. I think there'll still be instances where you're in a Banshee or something, and you're flying around and they're on the ground, or if you're both in Banshees and you both fly away from each other, and then try to turn around to come back. Like I would imagine that there might be some issues, but we'll see how it goes. With a bit of luck, like I think it was Pat said before, hopefully they can do something with this.
Yeah.
And increase it, make it better.
Yeah.
Because I would have liked, a lot more. It would have been nice to be able to just say, "Be right back," and run halfway across the map to go and fetch a tank that you'd seen, back at another point and come rolling back in with it without the fear of, am I going to get despawned?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I also I don't even think it's a case of despawning and being sort of like rubber banded back in. It almost sounds like you're going to get killed. Which, if you have a shotgun and a rocket launcher that you've been saving,
Yeah.
and suddenly you're over the line. I know it's going to give us warning. You're getting close, turn around. But it only takes somebody in the other side of the map to drive off in a warthog in the opposite direction, and suddenly that time limit gets a lot shorter. You're going to end up losing your favourite weapons because you've been killed because of that.
Yeah.
That will be annoying. So I'm not without my my worries, but I am definitely playing this, and I am excited to get on it and play it. So yeah, it's gonna be Halo. We're gonna make it work because it's gonna be good, but we'll see how it goes.
Yep. Awesome stuff. Jen, final
The other
thoughts?
thing,
Oh, yeah, go on.
before you move on, the other thing was that they did say that each person's save progress is your own. So if you go in and do do one of the takeover, one of the FODs or whatever they are, when you go back to your game, that's done in your game as well. So you've got your own individual saves.
Yeah.
You just don't have your own individual character.
Right.
So yeah, so that's a good thing.
Okay. Awesome stuff. Jen, final thoughts, brother. What about yourself?
It is what it is. I've played it, and I play.
I know originally you wanted to play it with your dad as
every-
well, didn't you?
Yeah, and well, that would be okay if my dad hadn't already played it.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably am going to play it with him at some point in co-op because I played every single Halo game in co-op with my dad. It's been like a tradition for me and my dad. It's been the same with a lot of games like Gears of War as well, but that didn't happen with Halo, unfortunately, because the game launched without co-op.
Yeah.
And it's sort of been, that experience has been soiled now. So I'm probably not going to rush to play this in co-op with my dad. He's not in any rush to play the game again. I'm sure I will play it at some point in co-op, but I'm not that bothered.
Yeah.
It's that time has passed now.
Yeah, that's fair. And for me, of course, I really just wanted them to sort the online as well, like the generic multiplayer, which is still miles away from being anywhere near perfect.
Yeah. It's such a shame. I honestly,
And it's such a
I'm-
good.
I'm
The thing is
over
it's such a good
343
shooter.
working on Halo at this point.
Like it's actually
They've
like
done a great job gameplay wise,
Yeah.
and I'll pat them on the back for that. But content wise, the game is lacking so very much, and it's been the same pretty much with Halo 5. That game launched with a lack of content, but it was different times back then, and they did support the game and add more content to the game.
Yeah.
So they made that game better, improved that game, but we're what, 9 months into Halo?
yeah,
Something like that. Yeah, the time has passed for that. The last time I played that game multiplayer wise seriously must have been about 2-3 months ago. Every now and then I'll jump on, I'll play a couple of games of it,
yeah,
and I'll jump back off. But I haven't legitly played this game properly for about 3 months, 2 or 3 months. I'm bored.
yeah. I
I'm
think the
bored of
only
it.
time we
I'm
really
bored of
have
the lack of content.
the only time
I'm
we
bored of
really
the
have lots of fun with
excuses.
it is
It's in the custom games.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when I jump on Halo. If you go, I'm gonna run some custom games, do a community night, I'm there because custom games is the only fun I can have in that game. Really,
yeah, it's hilarious custom games. And that's it
it's-
shouldn't be down
it's a
to me
shame.
to create these wild lobbies with
Yeah.
ridiculous parameters to have fun on Halo.
Yeah.
Like it's
I mean, like all throughout the Halo Master Chief collection, they added things along the way
Yeah.
that we should have expected to see at launch for Halo Infinite. They had they have a custom games browser in
Yeah.
Master Chief collection, and you
Yeah.
can search any of the Halo games, multiplayers, custom game, and you can join a random lobby and have a bunch of fun with a bunch of random people. They could have made that their priority for the launch of Halo Infinite, but they didn't, unfortunately. And we've got what we've got, a game that's really lacking content. Story-wise, I thought it was a fairly decent story. The best Halo story that 343 have personally done. And I pat them on the back for that. But everything else, it weren't great. The open world, it's all right. There's lack of biomes and diverse landscapes in that game. It's fairly generic, but I had a lot of fun with it in single player, and I probably would have had way more fun had I experienced this in co-op for the first time. But that didn't happen, and that's probably not going to happen for a while because I'm not really that rushed to jump back into the story, and neither is my dad. Like I said, I'll get to it in my own time. I'm in no rush. Maybe I'll play the campaign again closer to the time when some story DLC or the next Halo game or whatever they're planning to do with that comes out. But yeah, it's too little, too late, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Like you say, the gameplay is king.
Before the game. I had the idea before the game came out that, you know, when we were all speculating what it would be, and I said I'd have been happy for it to have been a big open world like Sea of Thieves, and you started off as a Marine, and you just did all these different missions and upgraded your character, going some PvP, some PvE, and just kept working your way up through the ranks until you became a Spartan 4.
Yeah,
you know, because they do. That's how like Buck and the rest of them have become Spartans. They weren't like Spartan 2s, like Chief.
Yeah,
you know, they were just regular people that had been upgraded to Spartans. So, you know, that would have been cool. I'd have loved that. Like they kept me coming back on a regular basis.
That's one thing that bugs me about the lore for Halo. The lore for Halo in the expanded universe, books, comics, and all that is bloody amazing.
Yeah.
Why are they not getting these writers to write a full-fledged story for the game? It's wasted opportunity. And unfortunately, I don't read all the Halo books. And I'm sure there's a damn load of people out there that are the same. They don't read the books. They don't go near the books. And there's all that missing lore that they don't understand or don't know about. And there's all these gaps missing in Halo. But if they just got those writers to write a Halo game, the story for the Halo game, it would be a great story.
We can only, and the thing is about like the game in itself, we can, not only do we have to compare it versus what it's doing, but we have to compare it versus its competitors in the space. When you're talking about multiplayer online shooters and what others are doing in a season pass way, where they've got battle passes, etc., Fortnite, Apex, all of the others are doing more for their communities than Halo currently are, and we just need Halo to step it up a notch and get the content in order. I mean, it's been, like you say, it's been a year and we're still on we're only just onto the second battle pass.
By the time Season 3 comes out for this game, there would only have been 2 maps. 2 maps in the space of a year.
Yeah.
If you look at Halo's history, we would have had like 6 to 8 maps between then.
Yeah.
And what have we got to show for it? It's a damn shame. And if they had their heads screwed on, they would port some of those older maps into their newer tech, update the visuals a bit, and send them out there. And they could have a whole development side of that, their studio working on that.
Yeah.
They've got the money to do it. It's just they're not doing anything with it. They could make some minor changes to the maps we've got. Turn a day map into a night map and change a few of the areas that you cut through, and it would be good there. They're just some minor fixes.
Would it be good there though? Or would it be?
It'd be a temporary band-aid.
Then saying all you've done is just turn the light. It's off.
It'd be a temporary
they're
band-aid.
in this horrible
Yeah.
situation,
Mm.
FIFA 3, where they can't do enough, and if they don't go all out and do something big, then they're just going to get grief for just being lazy. So they're having to put the time in to make the bigger stuff. The problem.
I'm just
taking
looking at
a lot more time.
Doom Reaper's comments. I fully understand where you're coming from, but we can't keep letting 343 make excuses.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not. There is something definitely wrong.
It's a live service
but
game.
They are stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah. It's a live service game that really isn't leaning into its live service enough.
Yeah.
Every other live service game out there that has a battle pass system and a season system, every 3 months they have a brand new update with a bunch of new content, but all the time between those big season updates, they're adding minor updates to improve things and change things and add on top of things to make people keep coming back. That's the whole purpose of a live service, is to keep you coming back as a player, to keep you hooked into that game, to keep playing it. Because that is ultimately what they want. They want you to keep coming back and supporting the game, playing the new seasons, putting your money into the shop and buying each battle pass for the new seasons. And unfortunately, right now, then they're not doing enough to get that job done as a live service.
Yeah.
We're 6 months between each season. That's far too long. By now, how many months has it been since season 2? It's got to be 2 months, right?
Yeah.
By now, we would be
3.
expecting some at least new maps, but we've got nothing.
Like I say, it's like
you hit the nail on the head. Like releasing, I see some opinions in chat. Like people want everything right now. I think there's a little bit more to it, honestly. Like, come on, Halo 3 launched with more content.
Yeah.
And the first map drop in Halo 3 was significantly bigger with 9 maps. Versus the 2 we got. There
was 3 maps in each map pack.
Infinite, and we get like 2 maps in the first entire year, and the game already launched with way too few maps. There was not enough content at launch to keep people happy, and now they're adding 2 maps. I don't think it's too much to ask to add a core gameplay mechanic that has been in Halo from day one, and that is co-op. I don't think that's the thing. And that it's an unfair thing to ask for that to be there. And it's also not an unfair thing to ask for more than 2 maps in an entire year for a game that already launched with not enough maps. They have the biggest studio in the Xbox game studio roster, and one of the biggest studios in the world, to be frank. With 800 employees, not counting all the contractors. It's a massive studio. Of course, we can ask for more. I don't think that's unfair.
When people say the word Xbox, what is the first game that comes to mind? It's Halo. Halo is Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even you've got to take even if you have a look internally through other studios at who's doing season pass as well. Sea of Thieves is always the first one that comes to my mind now. And have a look at their season passes, their upgrades, their additions of new adventures all the time, their cosmetic system. Not only can you do cosmetics for your pirate to umpteenth lengths, you can add tattoos and hair colours, beard colours, eye patches, hand hooks, whatever it is, animals, pets, ships, upgrade all the ships, etc. Like, Halo hasn't even got the basics done in the cosmetics area yet. Like that, the store still baffles me. It's such a limited store for us. Go on.
To go on what Doom Reaper's saying here, he's saying he's perfectly happy so far. Seasons are long enough. I don't have to grind. That's not the point. The way the seasons are done with Halo is once you buy that season, you've got it forever. You don't
Yeah.
have to grind it no matter what. The point is the gaps between content.
Yeah. And the only release
6
with
months is
like
far too
the
long.
content only releases when the season update comes, which is like we say with 6 months, and within those 6 month gaps we've had 2 maps and that's it.
2 maps in a year. A year by the time season 3 comes out is not enough.
Yeah.
It's the bare minimum.
Yeah.
For a studio of that size, if it was a much smaller
also-
studio and you're talking like 100, 200 devs, you'd be a little bit more, maybe a little bit more lenient on it. You'd be like, okay, fair enough. They're trying to get it all sorted. They've got a lot of balancing issues they need to sort and cosmetics and X, Y, and Z. But 800 staff, like you can't, like what? There's a lot of heads there,
Yeah.
a lot of heads. But
Going back to what you said about thinking about Halo and being like when you think of Xbox thinking of Halo and what you said Dutch about them like you think of Sea of Thieves. I've seen people say that I don't think Microsoft sees Sea of Thieves as one of their big franchises, and I can prove that's wrong
yeah,
by the fact that if you've checked out some of their merch.
yeah,
There is my son's got an Xbox mug that he got for Christmas.
Yeah.
And on it, it's one of those ones that says Xbox, and then when you put hot water in it, it changes color, and
Yeah.
all the thing changes, and and inside now there's a Lancer, an energy sword, an assault rifle, a flintlock pistol,
yeah.
a sword, and now my Alexa's trying to talk to me. Shut up. Sorry, but there's Sea of Thieves things in there with Halo gears and steering wheels and tires and stuff for Forza. So they obviously do now consider Sea of Thieves as one of their major franchises, and that doesn't surprise me. I mean, we've just seen 25 million is it now?
Yeah.
25 million players.
Yeah.
So you can't not see it as a big franchise now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. But yeah, so essentially,
as much as I'm bitching about Halo, I'm not bitching about the game.
yeah, the game's
The
fine.
core
Gameplay
elements
is
of
fire.
the game is absolutely amazing. The gameplay is perfect. If they can fix their content issue, I'm sure Halo is going to be a great game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a live service game, and they're going to support this game for 10 years.
That's
If
a
this
shame
is-
about Halo. That the thing it is, like you said, it is in its core fantastic. They nailed the gameplay mechanic. And I just have the concern that it really by the time that they fix their content pipeline, no one will care anymore.
Yeah.
They're going to have to do some big
That's
things to change that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's fair.
So
That's fair. I think it's an awesome summarization here. Of course, there is Forge coming up. The news, well, to be fair, the leaked stuff is more just showing how you can resize parts and things for it. It's going to be a while till we get actual Forge news because we know that's coming up kind of more season 3, or maybe it's even beginning next year by the time that releases, I would think. But yeah, it's not really big news to speak about. But I want to move on because Boxy's going to be leaving shortly. I want to get his opinions on 2 other PlayStation-related news icons today. And that is, of course, the news that God of War eventually got its release date. Now all of the extremist fanboys that were giving hate can shut up and stop asking.
Stop sending fucking pictures of your genitals to the devs.
Yes, that's not a good idea. But yes, so eventually got the release date coming out the 9th of November. And also backed up with the news that Forspoken was delayed until January 2023. The tail end of January 23 as well. Boxy, what is your thoughts on both of those? What the delay first of all? Let's because I know you thought it was a negative thing. What's your thoughts?
well, it's. Let me start with the delay.
Yeah.
The thing is, I'm always pro delaying a game if it helps the quality. But I'm also realistic, and like 23 will be an insane year, and 23 will have the problem that a lot of good games will get buried, and that will hurt the respective IPs. Probably they won't get sequels. They, you know how publishers treat developers where the games don't perform as they are supposed to. And I'm just looking at how many big games are coming next year, just in the first half alone. It's insane. It's really insane. And it will be very difficult for a game like Forspoken. So yeah, I'm glad if Square sees it or gives the devs the time they need. That's really a good thing. But realistically, it will get overlooked and overshadowed by other stuff next year. That's just the reality of it. So yeah, so I have mixed feelings about this, but I'm super excited for God of War Ragnarok. Can't wait to play it. Coming this year, and it's not coming on 11/11,
Yes.
2022.
Yeah, missed an
2
opportunity
days
there.
earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
maybe that would have been a little bit too cheeky for them to do that. I think maybe they did that. At least Cory Barlow.
Yeah,
maybe
that would
he-
would
with
have been so
respect.
petty. Yeah. But no, I can't wait. I can't wait to see continued gameplay. I mean, we got a pretty good idea of what the game is gonna look like, what's the scope, what the scope will be with the gameplay reveal that they shown last year. But I want to see what that extra year of polish did to the game.
Yeah.
How it runs on the PS5. I can't wait to play it. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be epic, and it will keep us busy in November. So yeah.
It's another reason for me
Pretty
to get
exciting.
a PS5 because trying to, as I mentioned previously, trying to play Horizon Forbidden West on the PS4 Pro is a bad idea. And I've intentionally stopped playing that game until I get a PS5. So now I've got added incentive. I know God of War's coming out this year on PlayStation 5. I know it's out on PS4, but I'm not going to do that to myself. I'm going to just get it on PlayStation 5.
Yeah, I think
Can you imagine how loud the PS4 Pro will be going if it's playing
Yeah.
Ragnarok?
If Horizon's anything to go by, yes.
Yeah. I don't think the PS4 Pro are the consoles you want to experience God of War Ragnarok on.
No.
Especially once you gotten used to 60 FPS and
Yeah.
going back to a game like God of War, which is heavily relying on how the game feels with like the impactful combat, the the entire thing. It's you want to play that at 60. So yeah, I think it's a good time to get a PS5 now. If you haven't jumped into the PS5 generation yet, I think it's a good time. They have a very good 2022. They have already released a couple of great games over the last almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
For the system, so definitely worth getting it, even if it's just for the exclusives. That's how I use my PS5. I use it only for my exclusive.
Yeah.
The
it's the same.
Xbox is my main platform, but I think it's worth it. It's a well-designed console. It doesn't. Well, the optics are, of course, subjective, but it runs quietly. They've ironed out the bugs, and the controller is good, really good. The best PlayStation controller they've made so far. I think definitely worth getting it, and God of War will look and run great on that system. No, I have no doubt.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Boxy, I will let you get away and get yourself ready to rock and roll. If you let people know, of course, where they can find you and what you've got coming up tomorrow. Who's your guest for tomorrow's show?
Yeah, tomorrow, the World of Gaming on my channel over at Boxenberger. You can find it very easy here on YouTube. And I have Dealer Gaming on tomorrow. We will have a one-on-one about all the things happening in the world of gaming. A couple of the topics, of course, we discussed today, but we also have a couple of other ones coming up. So yeah, it's going to be fantastic. Can't wait to chat with him and Yeah, that's basically it.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff.
All right, guys, you have an awesome evening. Have a
Thank you.
great show. And I see you guys next week.
You shall indeed.
Take
Have a
care,
good
buddy.
evening, brother.
All right.
Thanks for coming.
See
All
you
right,
guys.
see you,
later.
Boxy.
So, Pongsol has just posted or retweeted one of Windows Central Gaming's tweets, and apparently former Bungie director Paul Beartone, is it?
Yeah.
Returned to Halo as the technical design director. So hopefully that's a good thing.
Okay,
Oh,
interesting.
most definitely. Most definitely. That's
To see any of the old crew coming back is always a good thing.
oh,
And you
100%.
can only imagine how bad Halo Infinite would have been if Jason hadn't have come back and rescued it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, 100%. No, I completely agree. It's fingers crossed that
So I didn't want to detract us back to Halo, but I just thought, better mention it
yeah, that
before
should
we,
be a positive thing. It should be. Fingers crossed. But we shall
let
see.
Pat speak about God of War now. I think really.
Well,
That's fair. But yes.
no. Say your thing, Anna.
I was going to say
I'll
no. Go on. Add to it.
No, go for it, mate. Yeah,
Go for it.
Well, because we are talking about the delay for Forspoken, of course.
Yes.
Yeah. Like Boxy also said, it's gonna be a hard time for that game if they gonna release it on that period of time. Because as you guys see, a lot of people now have like the Series X and PlayStation, and if you are seeing like what's coming out in 2023, it's crazy. It's gonna be a lot of games, and I don't know. I have no experience like with PlayStation games and stuff, So, yeah, it's gonna be a pretty tough one for them to release it on that time of date.
Yeah.
Because that year is gonna be packed with a lot of games, and yeah. I don't know how it's gonna end for those guys, but yeah, it's gonna be a rough one for them.
Yeah, 100%.
For sure.
100%. And I know, judging by what they've put out as well for Forspoken, is the reasoning for the delay specifically was strategic. It was essentially, we know there's a lot of stuff happening. We know that essentially there's a lot of things coming out. The game is done. We're polishing currently, which essentially is just the end. Like we're just kind of faffing around with it now because the game's finished.
But okay,
Yeah.
but if we're gonna see, because Forspoken is like a PlayStation game, yeah.
Yeah, PlayStation and PC.
Okay. Yeah. So if you're gonna see now what's coming out this year for like Xbox, for example,
Yeah.
it's not a lot.
Yeah.
And if the game is like basically almost finished, why not release it like on this year? Because that Xbox is not gonna have a lot of games coming out, like not one of the biggest ones that we are waiting for.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like we said before. I think that next year is gonna be really hard for them to like get in the top of with the games that come out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think it's like a really good
Idea.
strategic way to good idea to like delay it if the game is basically almost finished. So
Yeah.
and
For me,
this
I
year
don't know
is the right
why
time.
all the developers are so scared of December. Like, why is everyone scared of December? Surely you want to catch
I
that
don't know.
I
Christmas
think
rush.
it's just because they know most people have finished the Christmas shopping by December. Most people have got it done, especially around Black Friday. That's why there's the big rush to get as much out as possible before Black Friday.
Yeah.
And then after that, the whole buying process goes down, tapers down, doesn't it? So by Christmas time, most people are sorted. So, But I don't think I don't know whether they've ever tried to test this or whether there's been any really successful games that have released in December. But I don't think that games really follow the same format when it comes to
Yeah.
Christmas schedules. Because if a game's coming out in January or December or November, October, whenever, I don't care when it's coming out. I'm still gonna buy it.
Yeah.
If it's one I want, I'm gonna buy it. It doesn't matter if it comes out on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And I don't even have my system with me. I'm still online purchasing it and making sure it's downloaded for when I get back home.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
it's the whole, what's the word? Marketing. The sales thing. I forget what it's called now, but they have their system, don't they? The
Yeah.
way that they do things, and I'm not sure that gaming follows that rule exactly. Not
Yeah.
to the same degree as, say, the most popular toy that's out over the Christmas period.
Strategic to me just sounds like we're trying to get out the way of all these games that are releasing this year. But then
Yes.
it puts it in the firing line of all the games that are releasing at the beginning of next year.
So yeah, I mean, in previous years when we've looked at, because I mean, I seem to remember people saying that 2022 was going to be packed.
Yeah.
And it was going to be the year that Xbox and everyone else was going to be kicking off, and now it's not.
Yeah.
Quite clearly. So, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if we get into 2023 and they suddenly all go, "Oh shit, we're up against this, and this." We didn't technically say we were going to bring it out this year. We could possibly push it back a little bit, and then it falls into the year after. So, I think a lot of games that we think are going to come out next year might get an extra delay.
Yeah. The thing we've
Just
got
to
we
avoid
know
being
already.
in the same category as everything else.
I was like, we do already is Starfield and Redfall are coming out next year.
Yeah. So those games they're pretty much definitely coming out next year
Yeah.
because they've already had several delays. But those games that haven't had many delays
Yeah.
have got that freedom to go, we ain't coming into this battleground.
Yeah.
We'll step aside, spend a bit more time, put it out a bit later.
Yeah. 100%.
I don't think 2023 is going to be that much more busy than any other good year.
Yeah. That's
Just
fair.
because some of them will fall back. They always do.
What do you make of God of War? Is that something that you're likely to jump into, or?
I got God of War, the first one, on the PC.
Yeah.
Personally, don't see the hype that much. It's a good game.
Yeah.
But it hasn't dragged my attention enough to finish it.
Yeah.
I will go back and do it at some point, but it's not quite as good as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I don't like long. I don't like it. Like the first big battle that you go into takes about 5 kills to kill the one guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you just die. And I think it was worse that I think I was ready to finish and I was waiting for a checkpoint and he just kept getting up. And I'm like, well, you just die already. Enough is enough. Just die already now.
Yeah.
And then when you finally beat him, I turned it off thinking, thank God that's over. And I haven't turned it back on since.
Oh, right. Okay.
So, it put me off. Just that. I'm sure it's not always like that, but yeah, there is that long cutscenes that seem to go on forever.
Yeah.
That I'm not a massive fan of.
Yeah.
Even I'm a big fan of Zelda. I always was, on Nintendo, and I often used to just put the game on and go, it's one of those Zelda intros. I'm gonna go make tea. I'll be back in half an hour. I'll catch
3
up on the
hours
story
later.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but no, I'll pick it up when it comes on PC.
Yeah.
But nah, it's not really. The first one hasn't sold me on it.
See, I loved it, but again, I wasn't one of those people that was unfortunate enough to have so many people hype it because they'd already played it first, where I've got these huge expectations of it. So I'd played it on release date, finished it within the week that it released. Well, completely finished it, whatever you called it, maxed it out. Platinum trophy, that's the one. Platinumed it within a week of release. One of the first ones to do it, from what I could see anyway, because it was like ridiculously low percentage. It was like not even 1% of people at that point. And I loved it, but I didn't have everybody else's thoughts on it coming into it.
Yeah.
Whereas I can understand from your position, because I've come into a lot of games where people are like, this game is amazing, you need to play it, and I've played it, and I'm like, I wish I could love it as much as you.
Yeah, I do. I'm the same. I do wish that. I wish it grabbed me. When it came out, there wasn't a tremendous amount out either, so I was thinking this will do me for a while.
Yeah.
It didn't. No, I was back on Sea of Thieves within a day.
You're a Sea of Thieves whore.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, you saw my gamer score for it last night. You can see why.
Yeah.
I got another achievement for it today, which I've been after for a while as well. So
one of the fishing ones.
I got 5 achievements yesterday or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
hit 3,225 or something like that on it.
Jesus
Game
Christ.
score.
Crazy.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm nowhere near.
625 gamer score or something like that.
So, I mean, until Sea of Thieves came out, though, I was not into those sort of games, like games as a service games at all.
Yeah.
To me, Sea of Thieves has always been more of a social thing. It's been the way that me and Chris have get online and, set the world to rights.
Yeah. Or go fish, or
while we're doing it, we've got something to do.
Yeah.
That's what it's been for many years now.
Yeah. Exactly. Jen.
And Sean says I'm being toxic.
Jen, what about yourself? What was God of War tickle your fancy? What do you think about Forspoken's delay?
I'll speak on Forspoken first. It is a game that does interest me.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be one of the games I get on a PS5, obviously. I know it's coming to PC as well, but it's just something a little bit more appealing to me. The sitting back at a console and just relaxing and playing a game rather than being close to a screen with a keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
So yeah, a bit disappointed in that, but it is what it is. It's going to be better for the game. I think delaying it. What is it? January? It's coming out.
Yeah.
24th
of January.
That's a little bit too early for that game, really. I think they should delay it further back. Because there's too many games coming out in early 2023, and I think it's just going to get swallowed up.
Yeah.
But don't you think, like, yeah, exactly. Like, why delay it even further in 2023, while 2023 is already packed with a lot of games?
Yeah.
It's going to be lost somewhere between all those games that's coming out. So
I've had money at Christmas given to me, and I've many years thought, for many years just after Christmas, thought I wish there was something out this week, because I've actually got some spare money, usually in vouchers or something from a relative, and I thought, what am I going to spend these on? And I could go and buy. Microsoft
what is in
points.
January though? What?
Nothing usually. So
Dead Space is in January.
Dead Space.
Is there any other games?
Going ahead with Dead Space. Oh dear.
See, it depends though. Like, Dead Space is within like the first week, right, of January?
Possibly, or first
Allegedly.
2 weeks.
Technically on paper.
I'll have to Google that in a moment and check. But yeah, I don't know. I guess if there isn't much in January, then yeah, it makes sense. Put it there, get it out of the way there.
Yeah.
But depends really on if anything else gets pushed to January. If something else big gets pushed to January, or something potentially gets brought forward a little bit.
Yeah.
Then I don't know.
And Sean's right. Yeah, Callisto's December. Callisto Protocol's December.
Callisto's
It's
December,
a big one.
yeah, and then Dead Space is definitely in January. It's like
really January 23.
So
it's the day before.
So yeah, it's I know what I'm gonna choose.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Dead Space.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it can stand up against Dead Space. Dead Space is a big one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really all I can say on Forspoken. It is what it is. If they need more time, they need more time.
It'll get the Sony crowd buying it because
Oh,
it's
100%.
exclusive. So,
Yeah, it'll do well.
I don't know.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
see, this is the thing. I don't know. I don't know that it'll do well. I think it'll do okay, but I don't think it'll do well. The
I think
reason,
it'll do as well as a game like that can do. I mean,
yeah,
there's not much hype for it. It piques my interest to a certain degree, but it's nothing that I would rush out to play instantly.
yeah. It's gonna do. Personally to me, I think it's gonna do returnal numbers, 500, a million,
Yeah.
babies.
But on God of War Ragnarok, that's going to be a reason why I'm getting a PlayStation 5 in November.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It was the reason why
I
I
might even
delayed getting a PlayStation 5, to be honest, because originally God of War was going to release kind of roundabout the release window, and then they said, no, it's pushed out. Because originally they said 2022 to tell people essentially to get a PlayStation. And I was like, yeah, the new God of War 2022. Oh, that's right, I'll pick up a PlayStation. Then God of War come out, and then they said, no, it's coming out next year. I was like, right, okay, then I'm waiting.
Yeah, I love the first God of War 2018. I didn't play any of the God of Wars before then.
Yep, same.
God of War 2018 was a reason why I got the PlayStation 4. When that game got announced, I was like, holy shit, this is where they're taking God of War in this direction. It looks fucking amazing. And
Yeah.
I had to play it, and I loved it. I loved every moment of it. I didn't platinum it because I'm not really the type of person that platinums games. The only game I've ever platinumed on a PlayStation was Spider-Man.
Okay, yeah,
That was
fair.
because that was just something special, and I'm a Marvel fanboy at heart. So
Yeah.
absolutely loved Spider-Man. But yeah, it's going to be a reason why I get a PS5. I might get it a little bit earlier than November just to play a few of those backlog games.
Yeah.
I do want to play Spider-Man Miles Morales. I do want to give Returnal a try, and I do want to play Demon Souls. So
Okay.
there'll be other games that I'll be getting just to pad out the time between me actually getting the PlayStation and God of War coming out. So
Yeah.
I'll likely get it a month before God of War comes out, and then I've got a good month to play those games.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. To be honest, I'm exactly the same. Like I say, for me, God of War was the reason I got the PlayStation 4 Pro. Loved it. Of course, platinumed it. I've got, again, much like Boxy said earlier, he has a PlayStation for the exclusives, and that's it. Xbox is my main platform, so every multiplayer game as well as Xbox exclusives is on Xbox. Every multi-plat game's on Xbox. PlayStation is literally my exclusive console, so I just play their exclusive games and that's it. So I've got all of the Uncharted's, I've got the God of Wars, all of them. Even though I haven't played the old ones, I need to actually go back and play them. I've got all of the Uncharted. Sorry, I mentioned that. I've got both of the Last of Us games. I've got everything they've got released as first party. I now have for the PlayStation.
Yeah,
Including
pretty
Horizon
much
Forbidden
gonna be
West,
me.
even though I intentionally put that on the shelf for the minute. So yeah, it's for me. It's always going to be like that.
Yeah. I mean,
The online thing for me
the
is that
bundle
I
I'm
don't
looking
have
at
the
getting is
friend
gonna be-
base, and I don't like the controller enough to play multiplayer games. Like I can deal with it to play single player games, but I'm sure as hell not gonna play multiplayer games on a controller I'm not really comfortable with.
Got a super chat there.
Yeah, it just popped in there. Red Wolf, thank you for the $5 super chat. He says, do you think we can get off our ship and walk around like on Sea of Thieves? I know it might be too similar to AC, but I'm BC, of course, Black Flag, sorry. Because I'm sure they'd have to add combat.
So we mentioned this before, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
think
probably he's
there are-
rewatching.
Yeah. There are,
He's
there are
like
some people,
Baby Hound.
there are some people that are hoping that it is just the ship combat, but then there's others like me that I hope it's more like those middle sections of the map where you have to sail around and pull into different ports and get off and do something.
At the end of the day, I think
Otherwise,
we
I
all
wouldn't be
we all know this is that it can't be identical in its gameplay to Sea of Thieves. It does have to be different, and it needs to do things differently in the way that you traverse or get around the world or whatever it is that they do. But I think there needs to be an element of going on land in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
there needs to be an element of exploration of that land. Maybe it's not as in depth as Sea of Thieves, where like you can pick things up at any point in the island and bury things now anywhere on the island. I don't think it needs to be that in depth, but I think there needs to be an element of there is hidden treasure on this island, and you go and open this vault or whatever it is, you kill everyone that's on the island, and then you get the treasure, you bring it to your ship, and then that's it. Like a singular place on an island where it has that treasure. I think that even would do it okay, as long as there's an element of it. It doesn't need to be over the top if they want to focus on the ship combat mainly, but as long as there's an element of island exploration, I think that would be good. But I think if they just didn't have island exploration at all, then I think, like me and Mick said earlier, I think I'd worry about the longevity of the game at that point. Like, how is this actually going to end up lasting?
For it to appeal to me, it needs to be about 60-40%, like 60% in the sea, on the boat, and 40% going on land and doing pirate shenanigans on land.
Yeah.
Basically,
might
if
be
we
like-
can't get drunk and throw up on each other, then it's only a 40 Metacritic.
Yeah, if we can't puke in
Got
buckets
set fire
and
to
throw
the
it at
ship.
each other.
And vomiting at each other, it's done.
Yeah, if you can't shoot your dogs at each other, it's
Yeah, if you can't fire a cat out of a cannon, it's no good.
yeah.
It could also be like a little bit like because tomorrow we're gonna see some gameplay, right?
Yeah.
I have no idea how it's looking right now, so I have no clue. But it could also be like a little bit of Age of Empire kind of gameplay from a little bit from above, you know.
Yeah.
And then when you're like actually on the boat, you can change your camera. But if you go on land, it's getting like more the
More like a tactical.
from above.
Yeah.
Yeah, more like tactical if you go on an island. Because if they're gonna do this game also like from third person, you're gonna get this Assassin's Creed vibe. And that's not what probably people want with this game. So my guess is that it might be some kind of third person when you're on the boat, and then like more a strategic way when you're going on land. Maybe, I don't know. It's a guess.
We're getting back into Skull and Bones now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we shall see. But yeah, we hope there is an element of land exploration on there. I think more so for the longevity of the game, because yeah, we'll play some ship combat. We'll go and play some multiplayer ship combat, and that'll be fun for a bit. But then, what else? Like it does need padding.
For me, it has to have more than ship combat to even warrant me buying the game.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm just not into it.
Yeah, 100%.
On that one.
But yeah, thanks for that, Red Wolf. Good question. But yeah, God of War, it is the reason that I'll be buying the PlayStation. Again, it was originally meant to be the reason I was buying the PlayStation, but put it off because of its delay. So yeah, I'll be picking it up sooner rather than I thought I would be. I was expecting God of War to be in next year, but when Corey came back online, he was kind of hinting that, no, listen, it's coming this year. Then I had more confidence. I trust that guy.
I have to take back my words because I was expecting it to be early
me
next
too.
year. So
Me and you, Jen, were both adamant it was coming next year.
I was very wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy that I get to play it this year because it gives me a reason to get a PlayStation.
Yep. Sooner rather than
And
later.
it gives me a reason to play all the backlog of games now while I wait.
100%.
Now I know it's coming out. I've got a perfect reason to pick up one as soon as possible.
Yeah. And I want to actually put this to use properly because I've been using it on PC for a long time now. And it's not the same because not all of the PC PlayStation games have these features put to use. So I want to actually
Just
try
use
it.
one of them instead.
Yeah.
Perfect for PC.
Oh no, it's I got it to naturally customize, but also to test out playing PlayStation games on PC. So I wanted to try what this controller was like and test it because, unlike Xbox, guys, as you're probably aware by now, you cannot use the DualSense on PlayStation 4. You cannot use the DualShock 4 on PlayStation 5. You have to have the PlayStation DualSense on the PlayStation 5 and the DualShock 4 on the PlayStation 4. There is no any way around it. So the only way I can try that and test that controller out in the first place to get used to it was on PC. So naturally played the PlayStation games with that controller. Xbox games I play with the Xbox controller. And anything else is the keyboard and
I
mouse.
was playing God of War with an Xbox controller.
Yeah, you're just like, I need to do this.
And it comes up with the Xbox, buttons and stuff on the game as
which
well,
is even
so.
stranger.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they've done with it, how the game plays it. It's actually meant to be a bigger game than the previous one. From what I
Apparently you
heard,
get to explore all 9 realms, right? If I'm correct.
yeah, from what I heard
Which
from
is good, because this is
the
what I wanted in the
developers
first
was
game.
that this one's closer to the 35-40 hour mark, whereas the original one was like 25-ish. If you did everything, I think I did everything within 25 hours, including the Valkyries.
Yeah.
The most annoying part of God of War's Platinum was smashing them friggin' seagulls or crows around the crystal crows around the map where they're like in silly locations and you've just thrown the axe until you become lucky.
I can't tell you how many times I threw my axe at one of them. It's very early in the game. It's flying around, and I was just so bad at
You just hear the jingle.
hitting it.
Yep. Yeah. It was
Just
the ones
constantly
for me.
lobbing
It was
the
the ones that
axe.
were when you were out at sea in the location. I think you might remember that one, and it's like flying around the sea thing and like these between rocks
Yeah.
and things. I'm like, you mother,
Yep.
just stand still.
Yeah.
Oh, but that was
I can't wait though. I loved the story of the first
Yeah.
one. It was freaking amazing. And
Yeah.
I can't wait to play the next one.
and again, it's
if
one of
it's gonna
them
be
games.
At
It's
length, and
Yeah.
the story keeps up the pace at that length.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a fucking banger of a game, and I can't wait to play it.
And much like as we mentioned Halo with the playing through the story and having already played through it, we're not really that enticed to play through it again because we know what it's like. We loved it. We don't want to we're not that bothered about playing through it the second time. I've been exactly the same with God of War. As much as when it released in 2018, that was my game of the year. I loved it, played it, platinumed it. I couldn't speak highly enough of it. I've tried on multiple occasions to go back and play through that game again, and I can't because I know the story top to bottom. I finished everything in that story, everything in the game that has to offer. Right? I can't pull myself to go back to it because there's nothing else to do. So I'm looking forward to getting back into that world where I haven't done something, and everything's still open to do again, and everything's still new. Yeah, it's gonna be
I'm
awesome.
looking forward to finally fighting Thor.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be an insane boss battle.
Yeah, it is. I loved the Stranger at first. He was insane, and as the Stranger progresses as well, like how that story unfolds, it's really good. Of course, Mick, you still need to finish that, so you probably might have seen spoilers. You might not have. I don't know.
I've seen some bits, yeah. I probably would recognize it, but I don't know who you're talking about off the top of my head.
The first guy you fight that lasts forever and doesn't die, the Stranger.
Is that him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah, he's the ultimate
No,
evil
but-
throughout the entire game. And there's a reason for it.
You're really selling me this. aren't
No,
you, now?
there's a reason
It's
for
one
it. The
guy
re-
that I'm like, fuck that guy. He does my head in. And now
The
you're
reason-
like, yeah, he's the ultimate evil all the way through the game. I'm like, yay.
I was on
great.
the other hand of that. When I first fought him, I was like, shit. If this is what the rest of the game has to offer, and then like all the other boss battles throughout it, I thought were bloody amazing as well. And those
Yeah.
damn fucking Valkyries are a pain in the arse.
Oh god, yeah.
But
It's a good job their side. Like good thing that the Valkyries are all
I was
side.
gonna say they're not essential though.
No.
They're not essential.
I think
no. You can-
one
back to
Valkyrie
them
is
after
one
you finish
Valkyrie.
it.
I think is you have to be one of them, but then it's more just an introduction to Valkyries. So this is the first Valkyrie, and then others you can find throughout the game, and blah blah blah. But yeah, the Stranger essentially, to give you a quick synopsis, the reason you can't kill him, even though you think you did when you broke his neck, is he's being cursed to forever. Is essential immortality. Can't feel pain. Can't feel cold. Can't feel anything. So no matter what you do, you can't feel it. There's a reason behind that, and that's what you'll get to at the end, and how you kind of overcome it. It is a really good story. and a lot of twists as well with the connections to certain characters that you'll come across that you're like, holy shit, fair enough. Things get a bit wild. You'll get annoyed with the boy big time because he becomes a right little brat halfway through.
He's a bit of a pain in the arse.
You just want to.
That is another problem I have with the game is that whole. It's not just God of War; it's any game where you have to constantly keep dragging somebody along with you.
Yeah.
Flipping you. Yeah, and you're just like.
It becomes like when he's got loads of powers.
Then probably a Plague Tale is not your game.
Well, that's probably why I didn't finish that one either.
Yeah, I found the little boy in a Plague Tale a lot more annoying than Boy. At least Boy had some absolutely awesome combat that you could upgrade him with, where it was like chain lightning and chain fire and all this stuff, where he was like really like helped you kill multiple enemies at the same time. Like, whereas Amicia, whatever his name is, in Plague Tale does nothing but cry. He's like, oh god, whingy little brat, go away.
But we've seen that Hugo had some kind of powers.
Yeah, for the second one.
In the second one.
Thank God. He
See,
becomes useful.
If we actually get to play as I can't remember the kid's name.
Is it Amicia?
Is it in God of War? I'm wondering if we get to play as Atreus.
Yes. Yeah, I think you will in some circle. I think it'll do one of them typical tropes where you get split up and he's doing something and you have to do this all by yourself. It depends on how they do it because, of course, that's whole new combat mechanics. Because in the first one, it was a case of just asking him to fire the arrows at these people and you're still Kratos
if it's going to be
doing
like
no
a
damage.
50-hour long game, surely they do something like that to freshen the game up a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's because a bit.
They'll have like that bit. There'll be a little bit with him here and there, and then they'll do some DLC where he gets his own. His own
Could do.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I would expect of the first one anyway. And again, this is the reason why they've turned it into a second game as opposed to DLC, because when you play the first one, you notice that you can't go to all the realms. You can only go to like 3 or 4.
Yeah, that's what bugged me about the first one. I was like, oh, so there's going to be DLC at some point.
Yeah.
I can go to it. They never did DLC. I was like, okay, so all these doors are there for no reason.
Yeah. Yeah. And then of course, when they said, listen, it was originally going to be going down the route of adding these in as additional story to this game, as like an expansion. But it was too big. We had to make a second game. The amount of content that we had to put in would have dwarfed the original. So it's a second game. It is Ragnarok, and it is the end. Instead of turning it into a 3-parter, this is the end.
It's going to be interesting to see how it ends.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know much about the original trilogy.
The original was Greece, wasn't it? So
really anything
was it
about
Greece? Sorry, was it Greece?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Greek gods, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's as much as I really know about that. I haven't actually witnessed the story. Maybe I'll just watch like the cutscenes and all that on YouTube.
I
don't really have any intentions to go back and play those old style God of War games because I feel like it's going to be a clunky experience, and I don't like that some of those camera angles are fixed camera angles. I'm over that style of game by now.
That's the worst thing about when you go back to some like early versions of games that you love, and they've got that horrible camera angle that you can only turn the camera by running your player around to try and make the camera follow him. You know?
Yeah.
It's awful.
I bloody hated streaming Resident Evil 0 with the fixed camera.
Yes.
It was just so off-putting. I just couldn't get used to it.
Yeah.
I really hope that they remake that at some point, just so that when I do play it again, I don't have to play it again in that terrible camera angle.
Yeah. But I'm just interested
playing the
as
older
well.
Resident Evil games is a pain now.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to playing Resident Evil 1 on stream, but I have to do it because I committed to going through all the Resident Evil games.
I'm just interested as well on Ragnarok to see how they portray Ragnarok, which is the end of days. It is Armageddon, essentially, the end of time. It's when everything kind of capitulates and what they call Hela kind of overtakes everything and destroys everything, and Fenrir appears and destroys everything. And
Yeah, because the game ended at the beginning of Fimbulwinter, which is the 3 years of winter before Ragnarok
Yeah.
begins. So I'm interested to see if that's a time jump between.
Yeah, there is, yeah,
games.
because Atreus is like late teens at this point, like an early adult.
Yeah, I expect them to do maybe some sort of prologue where there's a few bits in between those like 3 years, maybe things happen in between those 3 years, and that's like your tutorial into the game, and you'll sort of bring you up to speed if you haven't played the previous game.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
that
then
would
they
be
go
specifically if you
from there.
if you got to that additional outro where you see, of course, you know it now because obviously he's been shown off in Ragnarok's trailer, but the additional ending when you go back to your house in God of War, the original 2018 one, is Thor with his hammer standing outside your door, which is the unveiling of Thor and how they unveil that he's in the
Yeah.
next game.
It's like a vision, right? It's a
It's not even,
vision
yeah, so you go
Kratos
back
has.
and he's like, he dunk, 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 and he's like, what? It's like how, like, it's meant to be peaceful now. We've taken out these guys. We've fixed this problem, etc. And then opens the door, and there he is. Puts his cape
I can't-
aside, and there's Thor's hammer, lightning coming off it, and everything. Like, here we go.
I
Let's
can't wait to
go.
see what they do with Odin.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see that. It's going to be a crazy game. They've got a lot of wrapping up to do
A lot.
if they are ending the Norse saga. So there's a lot of characters that you can expect to see if you're a fan of Norse mythology.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. I can't wait to see what they do with the rest of them characters. Maybe we'll see Heimdall as well.
Yeah. Yep, definitely. We know Tyr is there, the actual god of war, is in the game.
Yep. The Norse god of war.
Yep. So yeah, very, very interesting. Can't wait to play it. I'm glad it is coming out this year. As Jen mentioned, as much as we thought it could have slipped to next year, I am glad to see.
Yeah.
And
I'm
you know what
glad
it
I am
is?
wrong. I'm glad I'm wrong.
It's also a damn shame that it's come to the point where they had to just drop it and just it feels to me like it was more just tell them the fucking release date.
Oh yeah, especially with some of the toxic plebs
Yeah.
that are out there that are, especially the ones sending
I know-
dick pics because how the hell did you think that was gonna work?
I know we don't have to say this to our community. I know all the guys that are watching us right now wouldn't do anything that stupid.
Yeah.
But for the rest of the people out there, just be better.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah,
100%.
exactly.
I can't help but feel a lot of these people are just very juvenile, if not in age, but in mind.
Yes.
Yeah, and you get some people that say that it's just PlayStation fanboys that are like this. No,
No,
there's
it's not.
PlayStation.
No, there
It's not
isn't.
just
There are
PlayStation
people
fanboys.
that are embarrassed to say
It's-
they're Xbox fans.
It's
you know.
fanboys over all sides of the fence that are like that. It's
Yep.
not just isolated to one part of one community.
Yeah.
No.
That's
and if
just
you-
a
and if
bullshit
you- if you-
statement.
If you see people out there on Twitter and that doing that, just call them out because they're just idiots.
Yeah.
And they're bringing the rest of us down.
Yep,
know.
I've muted and I've blocked a lot of people from all sides of the gaming community that are that level of toxic.
Yeah.
I just can't be asked to see it anymore.
Yeah.
No.
It's like I say, the release date thing just felt to me, unfortunately, like
Yeah,
it was a case of
it's unfortunate.
there's the release date where you just shut up and leave it alone now. As opposed to this grand reveal, which is kind of what Sony are used to doing. We'll have this state of play, we'll tell you the reveal date,
Yeah.
we'll show off the game a bit more, and instead it was just a case of 3 Twitter posts. You had the release date announcement. Underneath was the brand new CGI trailer, which I'm definitely going to be implementing into the channel artwork at some point, because that new CGI kind of action sequence that they put up for Atreus and Kratos was class. And then of course finally the unboxing with I've forgotten the name of the actor. Is it Ryan Hurst who plays
Thor.
which is awesome, doing the unboxing of the collector's
I
edition.
love that guy.
Yeah.
I love that guy. He was great in Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah. Let's not go back there and shed some tears, shall we not? Damn Opie.
One of the
Why
most-
did you
one
have
of
to
those
die?
painful character
Why did you
deaths.
have to die?
That was
Such
hard
a
to
brutal
watch, that
death
scene.
as well. But we'll not get into that. We'll not reminisce on that pain.
No.
He was in The Walking Dead as well, which isn't the greatest thing to say that you've been in.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays.
I know.
But he was pretty good in The Walking Dead. It's just everything else with The Walking Dead isn't good.
Yep. But yes, I think that pretty much wraps up today's podcast. Thank you everybody who tuned in. Again, thank you everybody, especially, and I love the debates we have, whether or not we disagree or agree with our community. Everyone's extremely civil, which is great. And if they disagree, they tell we, nah, I think you're wrong, and this is why. And then we can have a nice adult civil conversation about it. Keep it that way. I'm glad that we can disagree and agree on certain things. That's the way it should be.
Don't be disagreeing with me, or I'll be sending you dick pics later on.
Yeah, I'm going to send feet pics. We'll all send a different part of the anatomy. I'll send the feet. Jenkin, you can send hands.
Sorry, I got carried away because Vinny's not here. It just feels like this podcast's way too short.
Yeah. So who's taking up the OnlyFans mantle then from Vinny? Yeah, yeah, but awesome show, guys, as ever. Thank you to everybody again, of course, and I always forget to ask this, but if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. It does mean the world to us. It is completely free to do all three of those things, and it does help the show, of course, continue to grow. And get more eyes on it, and hopefully get some more awesome people in the community to follow you awesome guys. Side note, of course, and I put this up earlier on, but we do have our merchandise for those who don't already know about it. That's at midweekmixupmerch.com. Lots of t-shirts on there. I have added eventually the Sea of Thieves shield onto there, the actual one. I'm waiting for the store to slightly update so it goes on there properly, but there are several t-shirts, a few hoodies, and some socks. So there's many variations of the Sea of Thieves things on there now. So plenty of choice.
One more question.
Socks that might be for Plucky baby.
One more question, Dutch. When are gonna be the snapbacks available?
The snapbacks, yes. This is a pain in my arse because it's multiple times. I'm gonna have to do it through a separate retailer because Spring have some really restrictive requirements when it comes to putting logos and things on there. And I'm talking about it has to be X amount thick, like the lines have to be X amount thick. They need to have a certain amount of space between the lines, etc. And I'm like, this is far too restrictive for our logo. So I'm going to go through a separate retailer. What I think I'm going to do is just order maybe 25, 30 snapbacks. Give them all to so the crew have all got one each, and then the rest of them will do giveaways on. And we'll do it in like limited quantity. I think
definitely need a new snapback.
Probably going to be the best way to do it.
The other day, are you going to do any snapbacks as well?
Yeah, probably going to be the best way to do it. So I'll do it in limited quantity.
Right.
Go into a store probably round here and get an actual embroider to kind of look at it and say, yeah, we can do that, and how big do you want it, etc. It's going to be a better way of doing that than trying to do it online. So I'll do that instead, and then just send you one. It's probably going to be the easiest option, to be fair, because I've tried it multiple occasions, and every time they don't give a reason. They just say it needs to be within these parameters. I'm like, I've just tried it multiple times. So yeah, so it will happen. But for
There's
everything
nothing worse
else,
as well when you get all those
midweekmixupmerch.com.
parameters correct,
Yeah,
and it still doesn't work.
yeah.
It's like, okay.
But yes, after, and the store is having a few of its issues to get new stuff on it, but managed to get those Sea of Thieves stuff up there. It should be refreshed or something shortly, within the coming hours anyway, and then they'll be available to...
Sea of Thieves one is already on there.
You can see it now.
Yeah.
The new ones.
It does only go up to 2XL though, Dutch.
No, there should be several t-shirts. Should be 3 or 4.
There's 2. In the Sea of Thieves category, anyway.
All right. There's technically 4, so it'll still be refreshing. There's 4 variants. It's all their t-shirts.
Got you.
Teespring are pretty slow at
Updating.
things.
Yeah. And then you've got the hoodies, and of course the socks. But there's loads of stuff on there. We do something called game shields as well. So I'm going to start adding PlayStation ones in soon, but essentially favorite artwork from different games in the Shield itself. So if you like certain games, whether it be Doom or Halo or Skyrim or whatever it is, we've got them. Forza Horizon, etc. We do game shields, which kind of adds them into it as well. Plenty of colours to choose from. I used to just say 1 or 2 colours, but now what I do with the vast majority of t-shirts when I upload them is just add every colour available, put the same artwork on, but essentially just leave the colour choice down to yourself.
What's a little bit annoying is the purple is only available in America, so you have to order from America if you want to get the purple.
Takes a little bit longer.
And the 4XL is out of stock.
Oh, brilliant. That's nice. Oh, dear God.
Oh dear.
But yes.
I do like that purple one though.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to do an all-over print one instead, because I think the all-over print one goes up to, I think it's 5, 6XL or something ridiculous.
What's the all-over print? Is that the one that's like
the
one you did for me?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not keen on them. I only like the logo ones.
Yeah. But what I can do essentially is just do the entire thing as purple or whatever color you want it, because I can add that graphic on, just do the entire thing, and then add the logo on. So I don't have to actually put an all-over print on it. I can just do it like a regular t-shirt, but just for sizing purposes, have it on that one. So, yeah, I can do that. But yes, other than that, of course, let's get through with the outros. First of all, the General C. Nice having you back on camera.
No.
Nice to see that you'll be ready to stream
Yeah,
again
it's
and
good
get
to be back.
scared next week.
I'm getting back to streaming tomorrow, 100%.
Yeah.
I've missed it, man. It's been hard not thinking about streaming. But I've had so lack of energy because of COVID, and now I've got my energy back. I'm back to streaming tomorrow. So yeah. And you can find me on my Twitch channel, _General_C, and that's the same for Twitter as well.
Yes, awesome stuff.
And obviously back here on Sunday.
Yes, for the weekend edition. Yeah, we're trying to get a few things lined up. Again, because we have the weekend edition and now coupled with the main one, we've got a little bit more freedom as to when we can invite guests on. If they can't make the midweek one, then we can at least try to get them on the weekend one, which sometimes is a little bit easier. And vice versa. If they can't do the weekend one, then we can get them in the midweek one. So I'm trying to get in the coming weeks anyway, a couple of developers back on. I know the Hypercharged guys are keen on coming on as well, so we'll get the Hypercharged team on to discuss that.
Nice.
Nice.
Which is
I'm
good.
looking forward to
That's
that game.
awesome, man. Oh, man.
That game makes me want to watch
Shit.
Small Soldiers and Toy Story.
Yeah. Get you the Toy Story vibes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice, Dutch. I cannot wait for that interview then.
yeah.
Oh, shit.
So
no.
that'll be fun. That'll be
Awesome.
fun. So we're going to get them on. I'm trying to get them. I think they're UK based anyway, so it should be good to get them on the middle week one. Probably easier for them to do that as well. Trying to take them away from family time on the weekend. But yeah, and a few more. And of course, we've got our 2-year anniversary coming up as well in 2 weeks' time. So we're going to have, like I mentioned already, King David stopping in. Gaz is going to stop in. Probably get a couple more people in as well. Not have it rammed in like last year where we had like 15 people rolling in and out, or even more. It might have been 20, something ridiculous, which turned into not really a podcast, more of just madness. More just mad stories going from top to bottom. But it's going to be a great celebration anyway for 2 years, and a massive thank you to everybody who's helped grow this podcast from where it has been to where it is now. And looking through the statistics, and obviously as a YouTuber, you don't not meant to really go and check your statistics all the time, but to see where we've started to where we are now is just mind-blowing. Even just this year alone, 6 months into this year, we've done more in the first 6 months than we have in the previous year and a half, in terms of views and subs and everything combined. The last 3 months alone, we've had over 25,000 views per month, over 20,000 hours of watch time per month, each month for the last 3 months in a row. And it's no sign of slowing down. So testament to this awesome community and everybody that supports us, because of course we wouldn't get there without yourselves. And just to see
That's
it go
awesome,
from
man. That's
strength
awesome.
to strength like that is insane. And of course, that only just means that we're just going to continue to get better and better because, of course, this awesome community pushes us to do that. And whether it be tuning in for the Sea of Thieves streams every week, and we know you love those because every time I'm on Primetime Gaming with Boom, etc., I get people in the chat there asking when the next Sea of Thieves stream is going to be. And so that's really took hold with the community, or joining us even through the Iron Lord's time on a Sunday when we're doing the weekend edition, or even now on the main one. It's awesome to see these community kind of come together. So thank you everybody for that continued support. Of course, we're going to make the next couple of weeks the 2-year be special, and of course I'm going to try and put it even bigger when we hit the 100 episode mark. In talks to try and get a few big people on there as well for a 100 episode special. That's a big one. To be fair, we probably would have hit it by now if we didn't have so many breaks over the last few 2 years where we've been like, yeah, we'll have a month off here and a couple of weeks off here, and we would have already probably been there by now. But yeah, it's awesome. But Mick, let people know, of course, where they can find you, brother, where you're streaming. Of course, as always, Jen and Mick, welcome to the panel on permanent basis. It's awesome to have you here,
Thank you very
and
much. I'm happy to
you
be
were
a
the
part of it.
perfect
Thank
people
you.
to have part of this team permanently.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So I'm obviously see you Tuesdays every
Yes.
Tuesday with yourself and Jen. At the last, as we were lucky enough to have Pat with us this week.
Yes.
So that was
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Hopefully we'll
We're,
see you
we're
again,
all
mate.
throwing up on each other on that
Yeah,
stream.
yeah, I was the designated ship captain, standing at the back playing the instrument, watching you all throw up on each other this week. watching the chaos. It was quite funny. But yeah, so I'm on that. You can catch me on Twitch and Xbox Mick29 and YouTube. Same again. Gamer tag is just Mick29. And yeah, that's feel free to add me. And I'm also at 91 followers on Twitch now.
Ooh.
So getting ever so close.
Ever so
that's
close.
trying to get to
Awesome,
that
man,
100.
awesome.
Yeah.
So
That 100 mark and get that
Thank you for
affiliate
all the
mark as
people who-
well.
yeah, thank you for all the people who have followed me. It's been great. And thank you for coming along to the streams and commenting in the chat and stuff. It's been great. So thank you.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Patch, brother, let people know where they can
Yes.
find you and what you've got coming up. You're back to streaming soon as well, properly.
Yeah. I started a few days, actually 2 days ago or something.
Yeah.
Just small streams, just to get into it again. And but still, I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
Gonna start Monday again with work, unfortunately. But
Yep.
yeah, nothing else to do about that. You guys can, of course, find me on Twitch. Petchu070 _ MWMU. Stands, of course, for Midweek Mix-Up. Share it down in the chat as well. You can also find me on Twitter. That's the main social platform that I use. Recently also started to do some things on Instagram. We have the Midweek Mix-Up podcast Instagram as well.
Yeah.
We got the my own Instagram as well, same name as it says right here. So
Yeah.
feel free to follow. What do I have coming up? Actually, I have nothing planned.
Yeah.
But of course, try to join you guys next Tuesday again on the Seas of Tuesdays.
Yes, definitely.
So that's it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Need to get back into Sea of Thieves, man. It's the game is really amazing and it looks so good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I cannot wait to get back into it if I have time, of course. But yeah, just gonna play some games. If I feel to have a stream, I'll share it out and yeah, keep an eye out on Twitter or notifications and stuff.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff.
Yeah.
And last from myself, of course, you can find me everywhere at WandrinDutch, including right here. Of course, later on this evening, much later on, actually, a few hours from now, I'll be on Primetime Gaming with Boomstick XL and friends. And of course, every Wednesday, Tuesday, and Sunday here with Save Tuesdays, Midweek Mix-Up podcast, and the Midweek Mix-Up Weekend Edition. We will probably be doing later on in the year as well. In fact, we definitely will be doing another charity stream. Probably going to change it up a little bit this year as well. We will definitely be doing another 24-hour charity stream. But I think what we'll do is add a European one in there as well. I want to get, because Pat's was also ultra successful last year, managed to get his to over 500 euros. We managed to get ours to over 1,200 pounds, which was insane. So a combined almost $2,000, if not a little bit more than $2,000, charity raised last year. So we'll aim to smash that with this awesome community again this year. We'll do maybe do it over a spate of a few days and have different content creators do different streams and kind of spread it out a little bit further. So we'll have a European one, potentially even an American charity, and of course a UK-based charity as well. So we'll have all areas covered. We'll get some streamers, some awesome content lined up. We'll raise some money for awesome charitable kind of charities, charitable charities, charitable organizations.
Charity week.
Yeah,
something
charity
like
week
that.
or something. But yeah, it's going to be awesome. We'll get that organised. We'll figure out what charities we want to do this year. I don't know whether or not Pat wants to do diabetes charity again, or whether or not he wants to do something else. We'll figure it out. But it's going to be awesome.
Check that,
Yeah, it's going to be awesome either way. We had a lot of fun last year. A hell of a lot of fun.
Heck yeah.
It was a long street. God, hey, that was so tired. It was more the aches, the back aches last year, wasn't it? Like standing up. You're muted.
I felt like such an old man after stepping out of the studio. That was a great time. I loved every moment of doing that. It was such a good time.
Yeah, it was hell of a good time. Hell of a good time. I can't believe we managed to get through it. To be fair, but I would do it again in a heartbeat for what it was, because it was so much fun. Like all the community
I
that
think it was
stopped by.
just the last 2 hours of it. We were like all over the place. We had to enlist the help of Pat to get some of the puzzles done. For
yeah, I remember that.
We were like, "What is going
what
on?" Like, I can't think.
It was so good.
It was.
I'm
I've
looking
still got
forward to
the
doing that again.
entire thing highlighted on our Twitch thing as well, and it's just wild to see. It's wild to watch back, but it's also so great. Such good memories, and I can't wait to do it again this year with the community, because it's when everyone's involved, we all have a good time, and of course it gets emotional. Specifically when you hit the Pat knows that with when he smashed through his target, and when I smashed through my target, we both got quite emotional for both of those. It's a hell of a lot of work to do. Yours was a good 7-8 hour stream. Ours was 24 hours. The long streams, you have a lot of effort into it, and when you hit that mark and you achieve what you've achieved, it's a big thing, and of course it's a good way to give back. But yeah, hope everybody enjoyed the episode again tonight. It's been absolutely awesome as usual. We will see you all again on Sunday, and of course back here again next Tuesday and Wednesday for Save Tuesdays and the Midweek Mix-Up podcast. But until then, guys, have an awesome evening, and we will see you all again later. Goodbye now.
See you guys.
See you later, chat.